Alright, we're live now. Thanks for joining. Slim Michael, our guest for today. God bless you, my brother. Yes, this is CEB Jolomi by our guest today, keep it up with that. Okay, first we apologize for starting late. It was due to some technical issues, and we appreciate God that God has really helped us through. Glory be to God. Once again, we appreciate God for today, another live session that God has made possible by His power, by His might, and not by our own power or by our knowledge or by our own might. Glory be to God. Yes, as we know that we are always with you, and we are for you, giving you great topics and information, you know, that are very impacting for you, for the audience, for our audience, things relating to music and so on and so forth. Please, once again, please let's follow our social media pages on Instagram, Celestial Choirmasters, on Facebook, Celestial Choirmasters. Let us repost our videos we can share to. Let's connect with us. Let's invite our friends and family choristers, you know, to go to join us on our live sessions to learn, one or two things from the experiences of great people that will bring on this platform. God bless you. Yes, today is another day to talk about a very awesome topic. This topic is, very important to us as choristers in the celestial fold, and even in any music setting, to any church, in any interdenomination. It's very important, this topic. And the topic for today is best disciplinary actions that can ensure choir orderliness. Best disciplinary actions that can ensure choir orderliness. Yes. And we have a special guest for today. My brother is a very good brother. He's very good in music. He's a music master, maestro. We know him as Cathedral brother Jolomi Michael. Yes, he's my good friend. One thing about brother Michael is that wherever he goes, he's very useful to every choir that he finds himself. There's no doubt about that. And he has been going from state to state, and he has been very useful and very impactful, in one way or the other, in that particular parish that he find himself, and God puts him. And of course, God has been giving him the opportunity and the grace to serve in this regard. Afiara, thanks for joining. Once more, Kiki Beats, thanks for joining, starting with us. God bless you all. Afiara, our regular, friend and supporter, and also a regular contributor. God bless you and God empower you. Slim Michael too, he has been a contributor so long, and now he's coming as a guest and as a speaker. God bless you. Yes, before I call on brother Jolomi Michael, I would want to say this, that please, as we know that next week from Monday we are starting the burial arrangements program for our Father in the Lord, our great music master, the main celestial choir master of all choir masters, Baba Wole Adetiran. And as because of that, we are going to be having a live session on Sunday evening, and the live session will be all about you. It's an interactive one. It's an open one where anybody wants to talk about your experience with Baba Wole Adetiran when you were growing in music. So please tell your friends from Central Choir, or if not in any way you have met Baba and Baba has really impacted your life. Let's prepare towards this Sunday, 6 p.m. Nigerian time. Let's say between 6 and 7. We're going to start depending Nigerian time. Let's be ready so that we can share our experiences and talk about the legacy that Baba has left with us personally in our lives, in our personal lives. God bless you as you stay tuned. Sunday, 6 p.m. between 6 and 7 upward. We are going to commence the program. Let's bear this in mind. So I will invite our brother for today, our guest once again, Cape Elder brother Jolomi Michael, to go live with us and kick off this topic. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, brother Michael.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Okay.
Okay, let's go like this.
Can you see me now?
We can't see you yet. Hope you can hear me.
Yes, I can hear you. And
you can hear me. Okay. What we just need
yes,
is
I can hear you.
the video of your face. So, however, yes, how are you doing today?
All
Yes,
right.
I'm doing
Yes, I
fine,
can see
thank
you
you.
now.
Bonla.
What's good now?
We thank
Long
God
time.
for everything. We thank God. We thank God for His mercies. We're
Yes,
trying our
yes, yes.
best.
Yes, it
Yeah.
is well. It is well. Thank you so much, for giving us time, to be on this session, and God bless you really good.
Oh yeah. Thank you so much. It's the Lord's doing, and it is marvelous in our eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, great. Yes. The topic before us today. Yeah, before we trash the topic, yes, Jolomi Michaels, people want to know about you. Tell us a bit about yourself.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good day, everyone, from wherever you're watching us from, and for those in Nigeria, I will say good evening to everybody. My name is Jolomi Michael, just like the Oga Patapata has said. I'm actually the current choirmaster and music coordinator of C.C.C, the Strong Tower Cathedral here in Ibadan. And aside the church thing, I am actually a professional in the field of health and safety and compliance.
Okay.
So my field and my job entails that we monitor procedures, we go after procedures, we ensure people comply, we see the relevance of certain rules and the ability of people to be guided in any organization they are. In the professional aspect, we set all these rules so as to prevent or avoid accidents at the workplace. So, in every aspect of our lives, rules are actually very necessary. And that was why I was like, why was I given this topic in the first place? why, why was this topic assigned to me in the first place? Because it is more of what I do and the in terms of the professional aspect of my life, that is the aspect that has been a key factor for me anywhere I go. So that's just a bit about myself. What else do you want me to share about myself?
Okay, good, good, good. That's good. That's good. Yeah, yes, yes. We want you to tell us about the music journey. How did your music journey started? How did it
Mm.
start?
Okay. Musically and both within Celestial and outside Celestial, I've been opportuned to be part of various groups, various choirs, so to say, both within Cele and outside Celestial. Though I am one person that barely likes to come out. I am someone that usually I don't want to express anything any ability I can express, but usually I discover that the little that I'm being given to handle, I do it in such a way that the resultant effects make people realize that, oh, this person is actually doing this thing well. In as much as I do not want to be seen, I do not want to be I do not want to be uh, in front of anything. But whatever task you ask me to do, I find myself doing it or doing them and doing them well to the glory of God and through the help of God. So musically in Celestial Church, I started just like most of us in C.C.C. Most of us started very young, such that we were groomed from various choirs that we belonged to. Yeah, and you know, there's something about this choir thing. When you're very young in the choir, you tend to be looking at the elders in the
Mm-hmm.
choir. You tend to be looking and watching what they are doing. What they are doing rightly, you take them into yourself. And what they are doing wrongly as well, you take them into your personality, because while you're growing up, while you're setting the pace, you're still at the point of life where you're very vulnerable to a lot of practices and teachings. So though I took the good ones, and from where I came from also, it's a no nonsense family, so that aspect is always there. Now, musically, I grew up in the midst of elder brothers, sisters that we actually love music. So at times inside the house, we'll just sit down together, myself, Brother Benga Jolomi, Wale Jolomi, Yetude Jolomi. We'll all
Okay.
sit down in the sitting room and we'll do compositions. We'll start singing. Our brothers will be playing the box guitar, while the rest of us will split the parts and we just start making some good music out of that. And to the glory of God, it has actually been of good help. Then, while growing up as well, I a lot of a lot of interest in their music and all. So those then in terms of churches, I've actually been to several parishes. Just to mention a few, C.C.C Calabar Parish 1 in Cross River State, Crudas Parish in Saple Delta State, GRA Parish in Benin, Government Layout in Lagos, Majemu Alafia in Lagos, Igboliki in Akure. Then during the school days, Federal Polytechnic, Ado Ekiti, Student Parish. Yeah, those guys, they really. They and to the glory of God, what I have been doing, I've been trying more every year, year in, year out, month in, month out, to ensure that I improve on what I am doing. And sequel to that, I also
Yeah.
can you hear me, please?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So while getting the practical knowledge, while getting the physical ability, while making use of the talent, it is also quite important to pick up some certifications as well that can actually further help you in the field of music, so that you know some basics. You understand? While you learn them, it's good you learn them, but there are some professional basics that are also very necessary. So like I said, I'm currently the CM and music coordinator of C.C.C, the Strong Tower Cathedral here in Ibadan. So that has been the journey so far. And over time, at the various parishes I've attended, we've worked together. And to the glory of God, most of the churches that I've worshipped at or have served at should be able to say, this guy, they try small new. So that is how it is. Thank you.
May God bless you, Brother Michael. God will continue to strengthen you. Yeah, just as I
Amen.
said before you came in, I said, any parties that you find yourself, this guy, this guy performs some wonders there. In quotes, Yeah, glory be to God. Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yes, for our topic for today, first let us talk about. Can you just give us the importance of discipline first before we now come to disciplinary actions? Let's look at how
Yes.
discipline is so much important, in the choir,
Mm,
before even talking
mm,
about disciplinary actions.
mm. Yes. Like you rightly said, before the situation gets to where disciplinary actions will be taken, at least there ought to have been some procedures in place.
Mm.
There ought to have been some level of organization, so to say,
Mm-hmm.
before it gets to the extreme. Now, disciplinary actions should be like the extreme of the whole process, where
Yes.
all factors have been all rules have been flouted, where
Yes.
in fact, such a person, before going through a disciplinary action, must have really must have really done a lot of stuff wrong, and it will be so obvious to everyone that no, this person no try. Now, there are some disciplinary actions that can actually wait and stand the test of time, while some should be immediate. However, before I get there, what is discipline itself? If you use it in the context of a noun, discipline is a practice of training people to obey rules or a code of behavior. You want to discipline people, you want them to obey certain rules, you want them to conform with the order that you have in any organization. Now, the choir itself is more like a country. I do tell my friends that the choir is not just the four corner of the choir loft. It is actually an organization on its own. Now, it is actually different from other kinds of organizations because this is a religious organization, not a social gathering. Therefore, anything that will be done within the choir loft should be done in such a way that it should conform with our religion, our belief, and all levels of sanctity. The choir should not be a place where people should do things anyhow. If I'm a member of a particular club, a social club, that should not mean I should bring in my attitudes and behavior from a social gathering into the church. Because looking at the location of the Celestial Church of Christ choir loft, it is more like the next point to the altar. Hence, whatever anyone wants to do in there has to be reasonable. Whatever action, whatever attitude anyone wants to portray within the choir loft has to be of good moral standards. Now, a disciplined person is someone who is able to carefully control the way he or she walks, live, behave, and act, especially to achieve a goal. A disciplined person is someone who is careful about what he does, what he or she says, what the kinds of interaction he or she partakes in, the kinds of emotional outbursts he or she displays. In fact, for someone to be termed as a disciplined person, it cuts across a lot. That person has to tick a lot of boxes. That's for a disciplined person. Now, a disciplinary action is a corrective action in response to a misconduct, rule violation, or poor performance. Now, disciplinary action will only come when you have carried out gross misconducts, when you've carried out things, actions, or acts that can be perceived as a misconduct. That is when disciplinary actions should come up. Nobody should penalize you because you're doing things right. Nobody should penalize you because you are the type that comes to church, you serve God, you do what is expected of you in the choir loft, and you go back home. No, nobody will.
Yeah. At least just short network. Okay.
To penalize you if you're the type that the kinds of words that come out of your mouth are capable of splitting the choir into fragments. You should be penalized, because even in heaven there's orderliness. Yes. There's an angel in charge of this. There's an angel in charge of this. Orderliness is a quality that is characterized by a person's interest in keeping their surroundings and themselves well organized.
Mm.
An individual will be referred to as being organized if he or she has the ability and quality and interest in making things organized and orderly, either for him or herself or for the surrounding or organization where he or she finds him or herself. Now, the same way we have countries that are doing well in terms of not being corrupt is the same way we have the ratings of countries that are corrupt. Before a particular country or organization will be termed as being corrupt, it started somehow, somewhere, through indiscipline. And this indiscipline will come in various forms. Now, I'm not going to bring this down to our church choir. Well, like I said earlier on, I have been to a lot of parishes with a lot of experience and feedbacks. I have taken time to compare an average celestial choir and an average non-celestial choir. Yes, let me put it that way. And there's this large difference, especially in the aspect of discipline. Now, musically, we may be doing very fine. Musically, in fact, we have a lot of talents. However, now, our so-called talents, we need to be careful about it, because our talents seem to have made some people, let me use that word, made some people feel once they have the talents, that's all. Once I have the talent, once the choir needs my services, that is all. In fact, nothing else matters. And I can tell you for free that a lot of choristers in C.C.C, they have, despite the fact that they feel or they think they have put in so much effort into the church choir, in their personal lives, they are not where they are supposed to be. Now, in Sele, I must be ore ọ̀fẹ́ pọ̀. In as much as ore ọ̀fẹ́ pọ̀, the Bible also says pé ṣé a fẹ́ máa pọ̀ nínú ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ká ní kórè ọ̀fẹ́ máa pọ̀ sí ká má rí. The Bible ní ká má rí. What that means is no, it shouldn't happen. So it means we can actually exhaust the ore ọ̀fẹ́, the grace that we think we have. And despite this ore ọ̀fẹ́ thing, I can tell you for free that out of 100% of celestial choristers, those that are living up to the potential of their personal life, of the dream they have for their personal life, might not be more than 20-25%. Now, a lot of actions, and attitude of ours have actually prevented us from getting to where we are supposed to be. I can tell you for free, the career that I am into right now, that I have been into for the past 12 years or more, was given to me right from within the choir loft. The first appointment I got after youth service was given to me by a church member inside the choir loft. Now, let me just share this as a testimony. That day, it was after I had finished my NYSC, and it was more like, taking padà sílé ni, right? So then, there's this emotional trauma that comes with you finishing NYSC and start thinking, what should be the next thing to do? What should be the next line of action? And that it was just a revival, and I was in church, and this woman walked up to me and she said, I have been seeing you in this church for some time now. who are you and who are your parents in this church? Hello, madam. I'm a couple. I just finished service, and we are done. Come on, lolelu. And she said, She now said, what did you study? I told her. She now said, okay, that I should meet her in her office in the next 2 weeks. That 2 weeks was like 3 years because I needed something sharp. So I got her number, and I started asking about her. People started telling me, this woman, she's so, she's so, she's this, she's that. Okay, so no wahala. So to cut the long story short, what I got from her then has been what has been keeping me from one location to another, one job change to the other, in the same field, health and safety and compliance. And to the glory of God, I've been doing this for close to 13 years now, to the glory of God. What am I saying in essence? If I were to be part of those that Toma da Koniru, Abi Toma Anja, Abi Toma Kagbalagba to sọ̀rọ̀ méjì, máa ti sọ mẹ́rin, that will be the label she will use in describing me. Also, I've been to a parish where an elder said, nínú gbogbo àwọn tí òun fún ní iṣẹ́ ní akọrin yìí, nǹkan tí ò lè jẹ́ kí n fún ẹni ní iṣẹ́ ni pé ìwà ẹ̀ ò dá. Now, this particular person was or is, because that person still does a lot, usually helps people a lot to get jobs, youths, those in the choir and all that. And this person mentioned a particular lady and said, "Got mi ò ṣe lè fún, kì í ṣe pé mi ò lè ràn lọ́wọ́ o, àmọ́ mo ń wò pé tí n bá ràn lọ́wọ́ tán, pẹ̀lú ìwà tẹ́ni yìí ní, ó lè lọ bà ibẹ̀ jẹ́, wọ́n dẹ̀ wá trace it back to him." Or whatever we are doing, apart from the fact that we are doing it in the presence of God, people are watching. Now, if people are watching us and they are having a perception about what we do or the kind of persons we are, then how much more the God we claim to be serving? The God we claim to be serving. I'll use that word claim because, to be honest, some choristers do not know why they are in church. They actually do not know why they are in the choir loft. They just want to be there because, choir yìí mo rí kọ, wọ́n jó dáadáa, àwọn fine boys wà ń bẹ̀, àwọn fine ladies wà ń bẹ̀, mo fẹ́ join. That is the mindset of some person. And being in the choir is far more than that for those that have the understanding of being in the choir. I've never regretted being in the choir. In as much as if I get to a new place, I try to shy away, I try to run away, I try to get unnoticed. But I have never regretted being a chorister in Celestial Church. Now, who should instill orderliness? Who should instill discipline in the church, in the choir? Who should the choir look up to? The entire choir or choristers, who should they look up to? Firstly, fine, by default, God is the owner of the church. By default. Yes, and we reference God in total submission and in total humility. Now, within the organizational structure of the church, the shepherd in charge is expected to be the custodian of the church.
Yes.
What this means is that discipline should come from them. A church that does not have a disciplined shepherd in charge will have issues. Not only with the choir, but with a whole lot of units in the church. So, for the choir to be talking about discipline, they should be seeing the discipline right from the altar. Olùṣọ́wà yìí, tó bá rí pé tó bá gbọ́ pé àṣerú nǹkan báyìí, tó bá rí pé àṣerú nǹkan báyìí, kò ní gbà o. So once that is there, that is fine. The next set of persons should be the elders council of the church or the parochial committee body of the church. That is the next level of hierarchy, authority in the church, where people should see that our Agba church no, they are top notch. You cannot just mess up anyhow in any unit. They'll call you to the parochial committee and tongue lash you, and you feel very bad and remorseful about it.
Mm-hmm.
So that is another level where discipline should be observed in the church. Now, within the choir loft, the number one custodian of discipline within the choir loft is the choirmaster. In fact, the choirmaster is responsible for a lot of things within and outside the choir loft, as long as it concerns the choristers. Now, in the parish that I am, part of the rules that is on ground for all my choristers is that, in fact, you don't need to misbehave within the choir loft alone. Misbehave to a member of the congregation and you'll be sanctioned. So don't make it look like since tí ó sì jẹ́ pé ọmọ akọrin mo bá jà èèyàn tí mo bá jà èèyàn tí mo gbá létí ìkan náà mother celestial ní láyé ìjọ. No. Because whatever you do within and outside the choir loft will be tagged on the choir itself. Now, out of all the parishes I've been to, I've been to more than 10 parishes as a result of relocation from one place to the other. There's a particular parish I did not mention, and why I did not mention that parish is because I felt really disappointed the day I visited. I visited that church, and while the announcement was going on, 80% of the choristers were outside. They were not just outside, they were fighting outside. And the noise got so large that members of the church started stepping out to check what was going on. And before the announcement was over, àwọn tó wà ní church wọn ju márùn lọ. Èèyàn tó yẹ kó preach òun náà ti bọ́ síta. Now, look at the action of the choristers. See what it has cost the entire church.
Yes, yeah.
When I saw that, I just thank my stars that I did not, because when I go to any parish, mi ò ń bẹ̀ wọnú choir loft rárá o. Màá kọ́ jókòó sáyé ìjọ, màá wo bó ṣe ń lọ dáadáa náà. Tó bá dùn mọ́ mi, tó bá wọ̀. Then I will now go through the process of talking to those that are in charge and seek their permission before stepping in. That day I was just looking at them. Before they started the preaching, I just carried my bag and I left. That is another indication to show that whatever is going on inside the choir loft can affect the entire church, either positively or negatively. Most of us will feel because we sing and ẹ̀mí sọ̀kalẹ̀ kìnìkan. Now ẹ̀mí sọ̀kalẹ̀. God is not looking at you as the terrible vessel because of your act. But God is answering the prayers of people that are listening to what is coming out of your mouth or what you're playing. At that point, at that moment, you are not the one doing all those things. It is God working. Now, the Bible says there are vessels and there are vessels. There are vessels unto honor and there are vessels unto dishonor. Now, ayé àwọn èèyàn tó ń kọrin fún dá lọ. But you yourself, you've not looked at yourself to say, pẹ̀lú gbogbo effort mi ní choir, pẹ̀lú gbogbo effort mi ní church, what is going wrong? What am I not doing right? Tọ́ba ti ń ṣòfò, ìwọ náà máa bá ń bẹ̀. Tọ́ba ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ èèyàn kan láìda, ìwọ náà máa bá ń bẹ̀. Tọ́ba ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ tán fi máa da akọrin rú, wọ́n máa rí ẹ̀ ń bẹ̀. Kò síjà tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ní choir. Orúkọ ẹ̀ wọ́n máa dárúkọ ẹ̀ ṣáá ni, and you claim to be a minister of God. Let's stop deceiving ourselves now. Abba. As merciful as God is, the Bible also said it that point blank. And our level of grace differ from individual to individual. So like I said, the choir master is the number one custodian of rules and regulations in the choir. Then the next set of persons within the choir loft who are to lead by example are the choir executives. The choir master is the custodian of he is more like the MD CEO of the choir that ensures that everything is going well. Everyone is playing their role the way they should play it. Everyone knows when to talk and when not to talk. Everyone is well organized. Because if anything goes wrong in the choir, most of us, those solutions, choir master, put your house in order. And once that starts happening, it shows you as the choir master, you started failing in your roles and responsibilities. The choir executives as well, they play a large role in ensuring that the choir should be in conformance with the rules of the choir. Then the elders inside the choir loft, the elders, àwọn tó jẹ́ àgbààgbà tó wà nínú choir, they are also expected to lead by example. As a result of their wealth of experience, as a result of their age, and in most cases, their rank. They are expected to lead by example and not just wọ́n ní àgbà wọn wà lọ́jà kórí ọmọ tuntun wọ́. But in a situation where the elders, because they are not executives, but they are just there and they are part of those messing things up for the executives, then there will be a big problem. So the elders as well, they are expected to be the custodian of orderliness in the choir. Everyone above the age of 18 is also responsible for the orderliness of the choir. I said, okay, àwọn àgbààgbà, àwọn nǹkan táwọn àgbààgbà ń ṣe, and yet that is what will build them, either rightly or wrongly. Singers, instrumentalists, we all are expected to be disciplined. We all are expected to ensure orderliness in the choir. But we will still get to that aspect. Singers and instrumentalists, we play very key roles in ensuring that our choir is orderly. Because most of us are the brain behind disorderliness in the choir. Singers, instrumentalists, I stand to be corrected. If tabaka 10 choirs orderly, if you trace it somehow, one singer or one instrumentalist might be directly or indirectly involved. So those two categories of persons in the choir, they play a lot of roles, and I'll tell us why later. Who else should be responsible for orderliness in the choir? Everybody in the choir should. In fact, every member of the choir is expected to see pé choir táwa yìí eré kọ́ la wá ṣe ń bí, choir táwa yìí Ọlọ́run la wá ṣiṣẹ́ fún. Now, the problem with the average celestial choir is this. I will not say all, just some. I'll put it that way. Is that people feel ṣùgbọ́n fẹ́lá ń ṣiṣẹ́ ṣèbí wọn sanwó fún wa, why tí choir master kan ṣe fẹ́ máa halẹ̀ mọ́ mi, ọ̀fẹ́ mo ń ṣiṣẹ́ yìí náà, ó wù mí mo ń ṣiṣẹ́ fọ́lọ́run. Now, this same set of persons, let them get employed by a choir of an unknown church, I will not mention names, and they are being paid on a monthly basis. My brother, they will sit tight. These are the people that service my bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní àwọn churches yẹn ní 7 a.m. They will be in church by 6:30 because they know that the choir is expected to gather before service starts. Now, tó bá jẹ́ sẹ̀lẹ̀, this same set of persons wọ́n máa yan bọ̀ by 11 a.m. So what are we talking about? It shows we don't know what we're doing. If it is paid employment we want in the choir, it's good we just state it so that church máa wò pé okay fún ẹni yìí a máa lè sanwó fún ẹni yìí a lè sanwó fún a dẹ̀ ní sọ pé torí pé a sanwó fún ẹ kó wá máa ṣe bó ṣe wù ẹ́ ń bí tó bá ti wò pé since tá a lè sanwó fún ẹ you cannot be a disciplined person please go elsewhere. Ọlọ́run á pèsè ẹlò and the funny thing about Sele is if one person leaves a church forget it.
Yes.
I give that church 2 weeks. Ẹlòmíì àkàn wá wọ́n á kàn transfer èèyàn kan wá á kàn lóhun kọjá. That is how
Yes.
how divine. That's how divine the celestial system is. And that's why I don't see any choristers indispensable. I do tell choristers that if you're singing or if you're playing or if you're playing a role in the choir and you're not perfect, but God sees your heart that you're doing this thing out of diligence, out of sincerity, of purpose, and not for self-glorification, forget it. Forget your imperfection. God will accept whatever you're rendering.
Mm-hmm.
I can tell you for free, the fact that music done in a particular church does not mean God is answering some of our prayers. Let's call it spade a spade. Mm-hmm. The fact that we have all the instrumentalists we need, the fact that we have beautiful singers, the fact that we can do a very organized teamwork musically does not mean
Okay, let's wait for the network to be restored. Okay, I guess this is a network issue from the site. So I will try to invite him again. You're all welcome once again. Omola Beautiful, Shane Black, Adams, Cakes, and more. Akinlalu, Pro Idolator, also I'm saying God bless you. And okay. Ewa Royals, Royal T, Charles, sorry, your boy, Deborah, Debbie, Asiko Media, God bless you, sir. Tamara, yes, God bless. Official Imperial Sticks, Paul, thank you. Thanks for joining. Let's go back. Let me try to bring Hibera Brother Michael back. Please, you can share this live session with friends on social media. They can join us here.
Okay, I think there was a network issue.
Yes.
This is Nigeria. Can never expect things to go smoothly 100%. But God will help us. So, like I was saying, we all have a lot of roles to play. Now, like I said, everyone should be the custodian of discipline in the choir. There should be an ambassador of orderliness in the choir. Now, we have different kinds of names that we can also tag in discipline as. We can call it unruly behavior. We can call it misconduct. We can call it troublemaking. We can call it misbehavior and disobedience. There are a lot of other words we can use in place of the word indiscipline. And like I earlier I've defined what indiscipline is: a situation in which people do not control their behavior or obey rules. Lack of control in the behavior of a group of people. That is just the basics, the summary of what indiscipline is. Now, there are different categories. There are different categories of indiscipline in the church choir. We have moral decadence. Moral decadence, from the definition I have, is behaving in a way that shows low level of moral standards. Now, some of these things, they are not really common in all churches, but in some churches, they are really much. Now, in some churches, the choir, they are battling with, 10%, 20% of indiscipline, while in some churches, they are battling with 80%. because right from top to bottom everybody kàn ṣe nǹkan tó wù wọ́n ni. A sọ pé àdúrà ò gbà, báwo làdúrà yìí fẹ́ gbà? A sọ pé àwọn ènìyàn á sọ pé lórí pé church tí mo wà yìí bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ti ṣe nǹkan síbẹ̀ ni òun ni mo ṣe rí kíní. It's a lie, kò sí ọ̀tọ̀ ṣe sí anywhere. Ìwà oníkálukú ló máa determine reward tí oníkálukú máa get. So, see, even if wọ́n ti rí nǹkan mọ́lẹ̀ any church and your heart while going to that church ni pé o fẹ́ lọ sin Ọlọ́run, you are not aware pé wọ́n ti àwọn èèyàn kàn wá zoom wọ́n ti rí nǹkan mọ́lẹ̀ ni, but in your heart, because God deals with your heart. The church is just a building. In your heart, you are going to reference God genuinely with sincerity of purpose. Forget it, God will answer your prayers. But for the fact that you are not aware that some of your actions are capable of hindering some successes and progress that should come your way, you now feel ó dà pé ẹ kì í change church o, àwọn people yìí tí wọ́n ti pọ̀ jù, ó dà pé àdúrà òun gbà ń bì màtọ̀rẹ́. By the time you go from one church to the other tó ń ka 20 within one state and issue will change, then you now have a rethink. By then time ti máa lọ, time tó yẹ kó ti ronú pìwàdà kó ti change, because ìwà onífoníwàlẹ̀, ìwà tó gbé ẹ kúrò níbì kan ló gbé lọ bòmíì, ló gbé lọ sí bòmíì, and those things are hindering your progress. Now some people are easily influenced by bad behaviors. That's another category of persons, and that is why it is not good to harbor indiscipline in the choir, especially where you have the younger generations looking up to you. Most of us that at this stage, we looked up to some persons while we were growing up, and I can tell you for free, if I grew up in different church choirs that oríṣiríṣi nǹkan náà ń ṣe on the negative, definitely it will be in me as well till now. But for the fact that I've been able to filter I'm not talking as a perfect person. No, let's get that straight. like I keep telling people, I just opportuned to serve in God's vineyard. None of us is worthy to be a minister of God. None of us is worthy to be a vessel. But for the mercy of God, we are just being used to do God's work in his vineyard. And that is why we should guard it jealously. We have moral decadence in different forms. Morals. And in fact, moral decadence etelomi is as a result of the background they came from. Telomi, moral decadence ó gbé wá láti parish tó ti ń bọ̀ láti wá join choir, the new choir. Ẹlòmíì, society tó yẹ pé ó wà used to ló ti influence ẹ̀, so ó gbé yẹn náà wá, ó gbé wá sínú church. Like I told you, like I said earlier on, the choir is a religious organization, not a social gathering, not a place where we should display hooliganism, not a place where we should display some naughty behaviors. Now, another form of indiscipline that we have in our church in Sele is time indiscipline. Like I said earlier on, tó bá sanwó fún keyboardist ní church A, tí church ẹ̀ dẹ̀ ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ service ní 6 a.m. first service, keyboardist ní ẹ̀ máa ti torí pé wọ́n sanwó fún, ó ti máa débẹ̀ ní 5:30, ó pẹ́ jù 5:30, because ó mọ̀ pé tóun ò bá débẹ̀ wọ́n sanwó fún query lòun máa gbà, so ó máa ti débẹ̀ ní 6:30. But Sẹ̀lẹ̀ tí wọ́n sanwó fún ẹ and you claim pé oore ọ̀fẹ́ pọ̀ ní Sẹ̀lẹ̀, tẹ́ là ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí, and you know you are the only keyboardist or pianist we have, wàá máa yan bọ̀ ní 11. So tó bá ti dé wọ́n rí pé ó ti dé, ọkàn wá ṣe balẹ̀ ń sìn, wọ́n máa kí kí ló dé tó pẹ́, ìwọ náà you now feel on top of the world. People like that, they don't. In fact, I don't catch fancy in them at all, because whatever you have that you want to use it rightly. That talent that you feel you have, If you want to use it rightly. Don't use it in such a way that now if just such a person èèyàn kankan máa wá lọ́jọ́ kan èèyàn tó wà discipline láti ibi tó ti ń bọ̀ tó yẹ pé 9:50 ó ti máa dé church Jeremiah máa ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ ẹni ẹ ti bọ́ síbẹ̀ ó ti ń bá choir play wọ́n dẹ̀ sì ń retí ìwọ ní 11. A time will come they will forget you. In fact, they will forget you in such a way that this person will be so efficient both with time, capacity and availability. Now tí wọ́n tó wá ń dé ní 11 yẹn bá rí pé tó lẹni tó ṣẹ̀ dé yìí tó dẹ̀ fẹ́ máa gba ilẹ̀ mọ́ mi lọ́wọ́, you now discover that your relevance will start reducing. Now instead of you to now trace your tracks back to make amends, you now start looking for people to join you against this new person. Yes. Like I said, it depends on the choir master in handling this kind of a situation. Personally, I don't give a damn on the ability of anybody, because I feel if God gives you a talent, you are an alto singer, you are a soprano singer, ó dẹ̀ kó bá wa kọ Jerimo Yama ní bẹ̀rẹ̀, ààrí alto singer, soprano nìkan la rí, soprano singers nìkan wọ́n kọ́ ẹ̀mí wọ́n fẹ́ bọ́. A time will come as the choir master will now look at it, àwọn soprano singers that are really efficient, why not try and convert some of them to alto singers? And once that start happening, you as the alto singer tí wọ́n mọ̀ tẹ́lẹ̀, you started losing your relevance, and it will not take someone like me more than a month to brush someone else up. Mama make errors initially, but a time will come that will be my preferred choice because of availability and willingness to build capability. So time indiscipline is very common in our church. Embezzlement, yes, of funds, that is also peculiar. Now, this will come in various stages. Now, personally, Mama advocates if we have people in our choir tí wọ́n ń ṣe iṣẹ́ báyìí, tó ń ṣe iṣẹ́ báyìí, tó ń ṣe iṣẹ́ báyìí, I always want people to patronize choristers. Ẹ má gbowó ilé lọ síta. But ìwọ tó jẹ́ pé bẹ́ẹ̀ fashion designer ni ẹ́, mo ti fẹnu kún ẹ as the choir master, mo ti fẹnu kún ẹ dáadáa pé ẹni dá ó mọṣẹ́ yẹn, wọ́n gbé iṣẹ́ fún ẹ, wọ́n gbé owó fún ẹ. Ó dá pé ọjọ́ báyìí níṣẹ́ máa rẹ́dì, oṣù kìíní kọjá, oṣù kejì kọjá, ẹni àwọn bá choir master ẹ̀yin lẹ́dẹ̀ sọ pé kí n gbéṣẹ́ ìfẹ́ nìyí o. Wọ́n máa pè ẹ́ o ò ní gbé. You understand? That is in one aspect. The other aspect is owó choir àwọn kò sí ẹ lọ́wọ́ because of the trust tí wọ́n ti ní nínú ẹ̀. Ó wá di ọjọ́ tó yẹ kó kówó lẹ̀, story wa bẹ̀rẹ̀. Báǹkì ẹ ò ṣiṣẹ́ ni, aláàtì ẹni ò ṣiṣẹ́ ni, ATM irọ́ ni.
Network ò ṣiṣẹ́, network ò lọ.
Network ò ṣiṣẹ́. Time tí wọ́n bá ti fẹ́ gba owó yẹn padà ni network ò kí ń dá. Now, things like this, ó máa ń diminish integrity àwọn èèyàn, individuals. It diminishes the ẹlòmíì máa fẹ́ fògbójú ṣe, but you've created an impression already. Someone helps you in the choir. Pé church choir mi lọ́mọ yìí wà, jẹ́ kí n help ẹ̀. And torí ìwà burúkú tó o ní, o dẹ̀ bàjẹ́. Ta ló wá ń ṣe? Wọ́n á sọ pé àdúrà ọgbà. Àdúrà ń gbà ọ́. Ìwọ ló fẹ́ra ẹ̀ sí ipò tàdúrà ìfún máa gbà. Then, another one, sexual indiscipline. Now, this is a very sensitive one. Sensitive in the sense that it can eat deep into a choir and mess everything up within a very short time. Because you're the choir master, everybody is reporting to you in the choir. You are creating room for destruction in the choir. Now, it might not be easy. You as a choir master, beautiful ladies, beautiful talents, they are there. But for you to ensure discipline in your choir, I only said that as for the choir master area. Instrumentalists and singers. In fact, this really goes a long way in messing us up. This goes a long way in messing us up big time. Fine, see, kò séèyàn tó sọ pé kí ọmọ akọrin má fẹ́ ọmọ akọrin. If your intentions are genuine, okay, mo fẹ́ fẹ́, okay, she is good, he is good, we want to start doing stuff together, fine. But in a situation, ibi orúkọ ẹ̀ náà dá ń bẹ̀, sister Lágbájá orúkọ ẹ̀ náà dá ń bẹ̀, sister Tamedo orúkọ ẹ̀ náà dá ń bẹ̀, and you are priding yourself, you are so proud of it that àwa ni now, for the fact that you know. Careful. Some instrumentalists get carried away, and singers, people get so carried away that they now forget their primary aim of being in the choir, to start chasing after emotional needs. Yes, I'll call it emotional indiscipline. It is actually a big challenge, and it is also not a big challenge if the rules have been set right. This should not happen here. In the Afiara, I see you. In the church I am currently, the shepherd in charge was a former brigadier general. Baba will say, there was a day he called me, he said, I love you people so much. I love the way you people sing. But please, do not allow immorality to take hold of that choir. He keeps emphasizing on this over and over and over again. He said, because this is one thing he knows that can mess up your integrity as a unit. I told Baba, fine. He now said, he made mention of something. He said, see, anybody back there, brother, or sister by. When he came over, bound. I'm méjì lọ baba. Baba o, àwọn méjì yìí o, wọ́n lọ́ra ara wọn ti yéra wọn o. Wọ́n dẹ̀ ń wò pé ọ̀nà máa wà ń bẹ̀. Mo wá ní kí n wá fi wọ́n hàn yín. To the glory of God, two of our choristers got married recently, last month. Wedding no ṣe, tinu everybody there to see. Baba said that is what he wants. Not pé choir yìí nǹkan tó fi máa júwe yín ni pé and the whole thing is, whatever you're doing in one choir, the way the news will spread round, you will not know. And one person parish kan ṣé parish ẹ ló fẹ́ lọ parish àwọn ẹkùn ló wà ń bẹ̀ o tí wọ́n obìnrin and funny enough, maybe you just relocated to a particular location and your wife has decided pé òun fẹ́ máa lọ parish kan èèyàn kan máa fẹ́ sí létí wá tó bá yẹ kí ìyàwó ẹ̀ máa lọ sí church yẹn kọ́kọ́ gbàgbé ìyàwó ẹ̀ náà. If that is what they are using to describe your choir, then you are in a big mess.
Yes,
both as the choir master, the choir executive, in fact, the entire choir. It's a big mess. Now, lastly, musical indiscipline. Now, this one comes in various forms. Musical indiscipline for most of our choir or come in different forms, such that and the reason that we have this is because ojúṣàájú máa ń wà láwọn ibì kọ̀ọ̀kan. Àwọn areas kan máa wà tó yẹ pé èèyàn tó yẹ kó ṣe nǹkan báyìí torí pé kò súnmọ́ ẹ, wọ́n á rò pé èèyàn tó súnmọ́ ẹ yẹn ló fẹ́ gbé role yẹn fún. However, èèyàn tí ò súnmọ́ ẹ yẹn can get the job done far better than èèyàn tó súnmọ́ ẹ. Now, you now create a caucus. I've witnessed this in some parishes before. There are factions. Factions in the sense that tí brother lágbájá bá ń kọrin, àwọn sisters kan rò pé kí lélẹ̀ nǹkan, wọ́n á gbé microphone fún àwọn set of sisters kankan. Ìyẹn máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ láwọn churches kankan. Tí brother lágbájá brother tàmẹ̀dó bá ń kọrin tó yẹ pé eléyìí ni gbogbo wa ń fẹ́, everybody will be eager. Both the instrumentalists, they want to play for the person. The percussionists, ìgbà yẹn legun wọn máa le. Singers, ìgbà yẹn gbogbo wọn máa fẹ́ come to their full potential. That is wrong. And this actually may have started if some persons have been given roles, they've been given this mindset that they are indispensable. In fact, the musical indiscipline is so large. In fact, I watch some concerts, though this also happens to a lot of us, to be honest, but it is actually not a good one. At the point where the choir wants to minister, Etiwa on stage, the lead singer Tiwa Nita, everybody is expecting you people to minister. Ìgbà yẹn lè máa rí lead singer, ó máa kúrò wájú gbogbo èèyàn, ó máa lọ sínú chorus, ó máa lọ máa ṣe mí. I don't really understand. Ó máa lọ máa bá àwọn èèyàn sọ̀rọ̀ nínú team ẹ̀. Oh God. To be honest, things like this will not happen in churches that are not celestial. I don't want to mention names. In churches that are not celestial. At times, when I watch some of these people, when I attend some of these churches that are non-celestial churches, and I see organization, I start to ask myself, where did we get it wrong in our own fold? There was a time I stumbled over an application for a choir coordinator for a church, a Pentecostal church, and I saw the rules before you apply. And I was like, one máa ṣe background check, one máa ṣe integrity check, one máa ṣe ibi tó ti ń bọ̀, one máa ṣe gbogbo criminal checks, and then you have to follow all the church procedure, this and this and this and this. When if this is how we do things in Sele, kò ní máa ṣe problem now. But torí pé wọ́n sanwó fún Ansele, a rò pé wẹ̀ wọn ò tó láti bá wa sọ̀rọ̀, wọn ò tó láti gba kíní ta ní talent ta ní, ó ti pọ̀jù fún àwọn parishes tí wọ́n require services wa. Good. Now, categories of people who are usually unruly in the choir. This set of persons, they have the potential, the probability to be unruly in the choir, if not properly managed. Those that are treated as being indispensable, a time will come, they may become like semi-gods in your choir. If you've branded some set of persons, we can't do without this set of people, then your choir is heading for the rocks. Because a time will come, a time will come, these people will have other responsibilities to take care of as humans. But for the fact that you've built your choir around this few set of persons, then it's a big challenge. It's going to be a big challenge. When you have other potentials that you can groom and ensure that even if they don't come up to speed with the person you've rated high, at least they too, they are coming up such that once they leave, someone else can easily stand in for them. But tí brother A tí ò bá ti dé, òun ọpẹ́ yẹn ò ń dùn, and you as the choir master, you've already built your team around that person. ẹni yìí kò ní ẹni wálé ni orin ọpẹ́ òdẹ ní dùn o, orin owó gbá òdẹ ní dùn o. It's a big lie. And for the fact that you're even pronouncing that, you've actually demoralized the other persons you have that can easily pick up their own talent as well. But because you feel in your brain nìkan ló lè ṣe, that's all. In that case, you're building an indisciplined choir. Those who feel the choir master is their close friend, hence cannot be controlled. This set of persons, they feel, ọ̀rẹ́ mi choir master now, àjọ máa ń jáde ni now, kìnìkan, why the choir master máa bá mi sọ̀rọ̀ anyhow? These are that set of persons that are really unruly. See, as a choir master, my choir master in Abuja used to say something. Ó ní kì í ṣe gbogbo ìgbà ni kó máa bá àwọn èèyàn lọ máa jẹja as the choir master. Ó ní kì í ṣe gbogbo ìgbà ló wà reasonable pé kẹjọ máa hang out, because there are times you will need to take some blunt decisions. But for the fact that you've been so close to these people, it will now start hindering your sense of judgment. And once he's taking his decisions, he will consult, and they will reach a conclusion, and that will be all. That will be final. But in a situation where the party Jolomi sanction me once you started mixing, I'll call it the job, the core of the job, with fantasies, then you're going to mess things up within a very short time. Those who came to your choir from an indisciplined choir, yes, that this is another set of persons. See, one may mess up choir. Now, you as your choir will build gradually, but I will be meji meta kan wọ́n wá láti ibì kan. Paris started to one discipline is zero mbe. Like I said earlier on, they were on for now once they join your team, they start influencing gradually, and if you are not observant as the choir master and call them to order immediately before you look at it, they will start infusing those bad behaviors into your team. You know, èèyàn tí ò ń sọ̀rọ̀ ságbàlagbà tẹ́lẹ̀ o kàn rí tó kàn bú àgbàlagbà kan ní church, and àwọn tó ṣẹ̀dé àwọn yẹn ní ó tọ́ ni táwọn àgbàlagbà yẹn gan ti pọ̀ jù táwọn nìkan wàhálà ti ń dé díẹ̀díẹ̀ nìyẹn. And that is why before you take people into your choir, it's good you screen them very well and know where they are coming from, the kind of persons they are, and place them on probation for a period of time, and tell other choristers to be watching them, because your eyes cannot be on them all the time. Keep watching. Observe. Don't say anything. Display, whatever. Just don't say anything. Now, after the probation period, you now tell people, acceptable in by you. Lè gbarú nǹkan báyìí bí yìí o. Ó dà pé ṣọ́ọ̀pù òsì fẹ́ join wa ṣá, àbí ṣòṣì fẹ́ máa observe láti àyèjọ kó o bá ṣe ń ṣe nǹkan sí. Tó bá tẹ́ ẹ lọ́rùn join wa, tí ò bá tẹ́ ẹ lọ́rùn ẹ jọ o, a lè lé anybody ní church o, a lè lé anybody lákọrin o, àmọ́ a lè fààyè gba nǹkan báyìí. It is a simple thing. Once the person now you say, if you're that more serious there, oh no, mama, okay, let me start keeping to their rules. And before you know it, you start building a good team in terms of behavior and character. Ladies who feel since they are dating the choir master or any of the top guys in the choir, in fact, those set of people, you may find it very difficult to control them. I swear. Don't let me use that word, swear. But to be honest, you may find it very difficult to control them, because they feel that guy that the choir master is relying on, the lady he is dating is there. Now you now start according the same respect you give to that guy to the lady at the expense of other people in the choir. And now you go on pé wọ́n ti mọ àwọn tó ń lò, wọ́n ti mọ àwọn tó ń kó jẹ, àwa kò sí nǹkan táwa lè ṣe tó máa tẹ́ wọn lọ́rùn. You started building an indisciplined choir. You started building a choir that is heading for the rocks. So we also need to be careful about, like I said earlier on, the choir master has a lot of roles to play in ensuring orderliness in the choir. Those who do not want to be ruled over.
Okay. Okay, still a short. Okay.
Can you hear me?
Okay, give us the last one. Yes. Come.
Okay. Yeah. There are some people, they just want to be there. They do not want to be ruled over. They are just there. They want to do things the way they want to do it, and that is it. And that does not work in an organization. If everybody should start doing stuff the way they like, the choir will not have a direction. The choir will not have a sense of purpose. There should be a leader. And if you're not a good follower, I can say it for free that you cannot be a good leader. Because in the process of following, you must have learned a lot. You must have seen the mistakes, the good sides, and the errors of those that are leading you. So when you now get there,
Yes.
you will now do things better than those you met there. But in a situation where you cannot be ruled over, you are the boss of your own, then you're heading for the rock. Then the last one is those who take the church choir as a social gathering other than a religious gathering. They feel, báyìí ń ṣe níbi tá a ti wá lélẹ́yìn náà kò sí ọ̀hún tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀, a lè mọtí ní choir, a lè ṣe bó bá ṣe wà á. That is also a big problem. It's a very big problem. And I just pray that God will help us in the celestial choir. A lot of things are really affecting us both spiritually and morally, and we are not paying attention to them. The devil is so crafty that what is sway attention some of us out of the main purpose of why we are there in the choir. We feel tabatikori, tell me so. Àwọn ìjọ Ọlọ́run gbàdúrà wọn, fine. Now ìwọ tí Ọlọ́run lò, have you checked yourself to see that impact that tọ́lọ́run jẹ́ kó ní life àwọn congregation yìí, are you also enjoying the same impact? And that's why you see wòlíì àwọn máa jíṣẹ́ choir yìí o, ìlérí pọ̀ fún yín, ìlérí pọ̀ fún yín, ìlérí ṣe ń pọ̀. Ọjọ́ wo ìlérí ń fẹ́ di mímúṣẹ, considering the efforts that people are putting into the church choir. Ọlọ́run ní jẹ́ ká ṣe lásán. Because if you're using one hand to build with your efforts and you're using the other hand to mess it up, haba now. Èèyàn lè máa kọ́lé pẹ̀lú ọwọ́ kan kó máa fi ọwọ́ kejì máa wo. You're building, you're breaking it, you're building, you're breaking. You keep building and endlessly.
No success.
I just hope. Now, for the last point I have, how do we curb unruly behaviors in the choir? This should be my last point of call for this. I guess. Okay. How do we curb unruly behaviors in the choir? There should be a code of conduct for the choir. Every choir should be guided by rules, well spelled out, well written out, and adequately endorsed. The one we use in my parish, I as the choir master, I signed on it. We have a representative of the choir at the elders council. He signed on it. Then the shepherd in charge also endorsed it to show pé ibikíbi tá bá gbé document yìí lọ, it is binding on every member of our choir, such that if you misbehave, and I'll just quote the part that you've infringed, pé ibi ló ti ṣe o, penalty ti added. And before we endorsed that code of conduct, it was read to the hearing of all the choir members for them to say, nǹkan tá fẹ́ máa lò lélẹ́yìí o, this is what section this says, this is what section this says, up till the last section and subsection. Ṣé ẹ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀ àbí ká amend ẹ̀? Ó tẹ́ wa lọ́rùn. We go to the next one until we exhausted the entire content of the book. Booklet ni o, kì í ṣe paper o, ìwé ni tá bind. Now, everybody now signed to show that they've given their consent for the adoption of that code of conduct. So it is now relative for everybody to behave well. If you don't behave well, I as the choir master, I don't need to start exchanging words with anybody or start exchanging blows. No. No, just what the thing says. If it requires that you leave us, excuse us for a period, and for every sanction, the shepherd in charge is always aware. And one thing he said when we told him about generating a code of conduct, he said that is what he wants. He said he doesn't want a lawless organization. And that was why I said for the choir to be disciplined, it has to also come from the shepherd or pastor of the church. When he saw it, he said, in fact, right now in my parish, other units have started thinking about building their own code of conduct. I will leave. I will not choir teach a code of conduct. Right now, you can't misbehave in that choir. I don't even know the way they are doing it. Now, other units are now saying, about draft code of conduct. Code of conduct, can draft me. What is your modus operandi? That will determine how well I can draft your code of conduct.
Yes.
So that That is that on one part. Now, the choir master, who is the driver of policies, should also be disciplined. Now we are talking about how to curb wrong behaviors and indiscipline in the choir. Like I said, a code of conduct must be available for the choir to use. The choir master must be disciplined. All his executives must be disciplined and supportive as well. Choir master must to the direction of A, key executive B, come also in the direction of Z. That is wrong. So all the choir executives and the choir master must ensure that they work together to ensure that they too are disciplined, so they can cascade it down to everyone in the choir. All new members must be well interviewed and also given a copy of the code of conduct. About interview one time, ìwé yẹn tọ̀dọ̀ wá ń sìn wàá san 500 naira because ìwé ni a máa bá ẹ̀ a máa gbé fún ẹ lọ kà against the next time, because we have the time you come for rehearsals and not appear at Sunday services. A period yẹn wàá ti fi kà wàá ti fi digest ẹ̀ tó tẹ́ ẹ lọ́rùn, so o ti fẹ́ join wa o ti kà gbogbo ẹ̀ ibi tó bá tí ò bá yí ẹ sọ o ti tẹ́ ẹ lọ́rùn fine ìwọ náà sign join wa. That is how it is. So every new member should be given the code of conduct as well. No one should be treated as indispensable in the choir. I've said the disadvantages of this earlier on. So it is actually a wrong practice to brand some set of persons. Church will not. I keep telling people, see Mr. Eobawa, I'm a service ni 10, at the Maparin 2. Anybody, but service ma bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní 10. This way, Tori can shut down service. No, service will start by 10 and it will end by 2 or 3 p.m. as the case may be. Then there should be words of admonition at the beginning of your rehearsals. Don't just start rehearsals nonchalantly like that. Start with some words that will talk to the conscience of your choristers. Draw out Bible references. Assign them to talk to other people, to give words of exhortation before rehearsals will start. On behavioral etiquette, on ways people should behave, what they should see themselves as in the choir. The choristers are expected to know why they are in church. That is very, 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 very important. To be the most important thing is the fear of God. Once you have the fear of God, every other thing will be normal. Then the choir master must always frown at indecent behaviors. Come and overlook any indecent behavior. Caution them immediately so that there will be no issues. Now, disciplinary actions. What are the disciplinary actions that should be taken? That is, I said earlier on that.
Yes. I wanted you to. I wanted you to take that aspect now. That Okay. Yes. Okay. Before that, I would like to say I would like to commend you. So well for this this lecture. This one is a powerful and powerful lecture you just delivered, and I'm telling you, it's very loaded that it's enough to write a book, and train a choir on this topic discipline. So now, you have said a lot about this, and there are many subtopics you have given that I do not even know you're going to plan this. God bless you. So now this other aspect, the action, so we can take it fast and move. Yes, segment. Thank you so much. It's a great section. Yes, section. Yeah. Thank you.
I'll that you are here.
Okay.
I'll that you are in diaspora.
Okay. Yes. Let's take the action side now.
Okay. Now, disciplinary actions. Now, good. Like I said earlier on, it shouldn't get to this aspect of disciplinary action. Like seriously, we shouldn't force the choir authorities to start taking disciplinary actions. We shouldn't force the church authorities to start taking disciplinary action against our choristers. However, there might be need for some disciplinary actions with love. So that we need that baby. So that I want to concentrate like it's long in the right way. Now, the first item I have here is that the choir master must physically call offenders to order immediately a wrong behavior is observed.
Okay.
Call them to order immediately as it hurts. Now, however, during the service, you need to just hold on until the service is finished so that you will not disrupt anything. Now, after service, call the person and sound it like you're serious. Emo, kéèyàn máa sọ nǹkan kó má dà pé èèyàn serious ó yàtọ̀ sí kéèyàn sọ nǹkan with every level of emphasis. Tell the person nǹkan tó ṣe òun tẹ phone while the service was going on mi ò fẹ́ rí mọ́ kò gbúdọ̀ ṣẹlẹ̀ mọ́ from your end. And you re-emphasize it during rehearsals. So once you identify any wrong behavior, please spot it out and talk about it and iron it out immediately.
Okay.
Kò gbúdọ̀ pẹ́ because tó bá ti ń pẹ́ àwọn tó wọn máa ṣe wọn máa pọ̀ sí. After rehearsals, some identified unruly behaviors should be mentioned. Now, at my rehearsal, now there should be a session that okay, àwọn kan tá a rí ní last Sunday lele tí ò tọ̀nà tí ò dá. Please, we do not want people to continue. You know, all this one I'm still saying, there are still the soft parts where okay, as in paro asirawa, so that nobody will say Choirmaster is harsh, and Esco is harsh. After the rehearsal, you tell them these were the things we identified at the last service or at the last outing we went for.
Okay.
It should not repeat itself again. And you, in fact, you can go the extra mile of calling out the offenders and warning them in the presence of the entire choir so that they will bear you witness when you want to take other drastic actions. When you are covering offenses of some set of persons, then you are exposing the choir to a lot of dangers because you like some persons over some persons and you are covering the offenses, the offense or the misbehaviors of this set of persons at the expense of others. No now there's no way your orders will hold waters. Mr. A Shin come by on telephone during the service, caution worry brother B no one telephone why lo fẹ́ caution brother B man no see brother A na ṣe bí o ṣe nǹkan. So what moral are you trying to drive? What orderliness or discipline are you trying to instill in them? What is good for A should also be done for Mr. B. So at this point, now another kind of punishment. This one comes with blessings, but some people may feel it is an outright punishment. But to me, it's not. I can ask you to wash boyokùnrin ni ẹ́ o, obìnrin ni ẹ́ o, àgbà ìjọ ni ẹ́ o, as long as to one choir and the choir is being presided over by the choirmaster, you can be sanctioned to wash the choir capes for a period of 1 month, 4 weeks. And the way we do it here is, at the time to ban for cape, I want to see the picture of you or video of you washing it. That video, I will now post it on the choir platform. Week 1, and bye OTT box week 1. Yeah, I've done that for 2 persons already. While you're washing the capes, I want to see a short video clip to show that we are not really joking here when it comes to let's get things right. Like I said earlier on, I'm not talking because I'm a perfect being. I'm saying this because we all know what is right and we should try to do the right thing. Tó bá ti wá post first week, second week, mama dúró. Tó bá wá ṣe, màá post the platform. Mr. Lágbájá, Evangelist Lágbájá, tí forcape mi ní ọ̀sẹ̀ yìí, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀?
But
if we now wait for the period, I'm with you.
But what about, of course, he or she would have watched the cape and, the people will know that he has watched. Does it really need that they put the video?
It has to be done because now the essence of that, other people may have their ways of having theirs done, but the essence is to serve as a learning point for other persons.
Okay.
If other people will see that cape washing as one might degrade any not go for cape. However, like I said earlier on, washing of cape is just a kind of punishment that comes with blessings. But some people may feel no you might need for cape gbogbo akọrin ṣé mo ní kó lọ jà ni èmi ní kó lọ bá àgbà ìjọ jà ni tán wá sọ pé àwọn ọmọ akọrin náà ní bó ṣe máa ń ṣe nìyẹn no. And I keep telling my choristers, if any member of the church or elder should say anything negative to the choir because of the wrongdoings of one person, I'm a code of conduct. You be I'm a shifuen. In fact, at that point, and we'll take you to the shepherd in charge to state pé are in support of it, because he is one person. In fact, if he's talking, he will just look at us and he will smile. he will tell us, your mommy, those are the kinds of encouragement we want. I don't want to be in a choir where Olùṣọ́mà wà lórí àga wàásù because of the wrongdoings of the choir. Wọ́n máa kọ́ tongue lash choir for like 30 minutes kí wàásù tó bẹ̀rẹ̀. For churches, it is actually a slap on the face of the choirmaster and the entire executives and the choir, the entire choir. So for that not to happen, we need to put stringent measures in place because you understand. So we need to ensure that people do the right thing, whether it is convenient or not. However, everything is to the glory of God because even in heaven, there's orderliness. Now, in some cases, we may introduce fines. Though there are some petty fines that we introduce. Okay, pay so amount if you come late for rehearsals. Pay so amount for this. However, there are some offenses to carry out after to for KPton, we are some fine. So they come together. So give a giveaway. No, it has to come from you and you will feel it. No, this is actually a sanction. So there are times we make you pay fines, and if you don't pay those fines, you will just be inquire, but you'll be there as if you are not there. If you are the keyboardist, good, me or I will even prefer to bring someone from outside to come and play, and you'll be there. You must be there. You must be coming for service, and you must be coming for rehearsals. You don't say because you're good at what you're doing and you feel nobody should control you. You should do the way you like and mess the whole thing up. No, it's not going to happen. Now, we are now getting to the difficult part where warning letters can be issued. Warning letters can be issued to choristers on the basis of gross misconduct. Conduct that are not acceptable. You make it official and you put the shepherd in copy and the parochial committee in copy. Especially if such act is capable of dividing the choir. Bros, you wouldn't want to pray for a divided choir. Everything gets messed up. Yes. Nothing. In fact, there will be no direction. Some will be going this way, some will be going this way, some will be going in the north, towards the north. So, if you start sensing things like that, start making it official and state it what the person is doing that is wrong. So that the person toba like, all right, then you invite such a person to the team of expos for you people to admonish and talk to the person. And you have to change if you want to continue with us. Now, another thing is temporary suspension from the choir.
Okay.
Brother, it is capable of bringing bad name to the choir. It is capable of bringing a bad name to you as a person. Look at someone in your Oja, for instance. Oja gan. But now, yes, because some people find it very difficult to manage their anger. Now, for this kind of persons, what to commit, because at some point you at the CSco, I'm a buy soro. Go to say you da, go da. Ọmọ Ọlọ́run ṣe rú nǹkan báyìí. A fẹ́ kó parun. However, fún nǹkan tó ti ṣe yìí, nǹkan tá a máa fẹ́ kó ṣe ń sìn ni pé yẹra fún wa fún bí ọ̀sẹ̀ mẹ́ta. Now, fún ọ̀sẹ̀ mẹ́ta yìí, wàá máa wá rí àzá. O gbúdọ̀ máa wá rí àzá. But o ní máa bá wa robe ní Sunday. O dẹ̀ ní join wa for any function. Kódà ìkórè la fẹ́ ṣe wà láyé ìjọ. Now, period tó fi máa wà láyé ìjọ tá a máa wù ẹ́ láyé ìjọ yẹn. Kó fi máa wo ìwà wa tá a wà lórí choir loft. Kó máa wo bá a ṣe ń behave sí. So that, as in, it's more like ìwọ tí ìwà ẹ̀ ò fẹ́ da, try to acknowledge the fact that àwọn people yìí wọn dẹ̀ ń jà o. Why tí mo wá lọ ń jà láàrin wọn? You need to be in the church. If you're not in the church, that Sunday will not count. So be in the church, be watching us. Ọjọ́ tó bá rí pé àjà fọwọ́ rẹ̀ wà ní mú, but tó bá rí pé service bẹ̀rẹ̀ ní láti bẹ̀rẹ̀, a parí ẹ̀, a ṣe rehearsal, a parí ẹ̀, kò séyàn tó bá anybody jà. So you are this peaceful. Nobody will teach you before you start. O máa ti ọwọ́ ara ọmọ àbọ̀ Yorùbá ni wọ́n sọ. O máa ti ọwọ́ ara ọmọ ara ẹ̀ bọ aṣọ. So If we suspend you for 3 weeks, it's just with love and for you to learn from us. We are not sending you out. We are not casting you out. You are like a sinner that we want you to repent. But now we are now using the church as that's you sitting in the church as a corrective measure for you to watch us. No, you know, at times a chorister, especially the active ones, ara wọn balẹ̀. But back the sanction ló ń serve ní àyèjọ. You feel bad about yourself. You feel that this thing I did, no, kò yẹ kí n ṣe, ó burú jáì. But kí n ṣáà máa wò wọ́n, ṣebí 3 weeks ni, wàá máa kà á, 3 Sundays, 3 rehearsals, and you must be available. Now after that period, you will now write us a letter of apology pé nǹkan tó ṣe yìí o kò dáa o ò dẹ̀ ní ṣe mọ́. Once you do that, a máa tún gbà ẹ́ padà, a máa hug ẹ, a máa bá ẹ rẹ́rìn with the hope wípé you will not go back to your vomit. However, àwọn aláìgbọràn kan wá wà. Their actions, if you do not check it immediately, it will divide, it will split your choir, it will influence others, it will create chaos. Wọ́n máa wá àwọn èèyàn kúnra, and this faction will start antagonizing this faction, and before you look at it, you will be having like 5 factions inside one choir. Once you have that, please send them out. Like I said, as a choir master, you may not be able to hold it if your choir is divided. You feel disappointed in yourself. You feel disappointed in the role you're playing. You feel disappointed in the entire choir. So if you're seeing some persons as being capable of dividing your choir, please, regardless of how good they are, especially to warn severally, because there will be some several warnings before a final suspension. And by the time you want to present this to the church, you have all your points to prove that. See what your bye see what caution ta fun, so verbal warning ta fun, advice ta fun, still ó sì continue. Dẹ̀ lè dúró kí ẹni kó ba ìjọ jẹ́ mọ́ wa lórí. And anything that happens like I said before I started this lecture, the church I went to then, kó tó bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìwàásù, gbogbo àwọn ọmọ akọrin ti lọ ń jà ń ta, ká tó rí gbogbo ọmọ ìjọ ti wà ń ta, kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀, ariwo là ń gbọ́ ń ta, èèyàn tó fẹ́ preach òun náà ti lọ síta. So the action of what happened inside the choir òun ló ti disrupt the entire service. And ká wá mọ̀ bóyá áńgẹ́lì Ọlọ́run ti gbé ìbùkún àwọn kan wá fọ́jọ́ yẹn, but because mess up ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti inú choir, ó ti disrupt the entire process. Èèyàn tó yẹ kó gba ìbùkún ẹ̀ lọ́jọ́ Sunday, ẹ̀kọ́ kì í yóò gbé ẹ̀ ló ń gba ìbùkún ní every Sunday. They are selected. Bíbélì ní èmi yóò ṣàánú fún ẹ̀ tèmi yóò ṣàánú fún. Èèyàn tó lọ́run ti fẹ́ ṣàánú fún, ó ti lọ ọ̀tá ti lọ ń wòjà. See what you have caused as a minister, as a vessel that is supposed to be a vessel unto honor. May God help us in Jesus' name. So, in conclusion, orderliness is very key in the church choir. A lot of choristers are still at the same point, stagnant because of their unruly behavior. Considering the huge effort we all put into the choir, some of us are still seeing it. Despite all this effort, some people are still seeing it, because we have seen the good result of whatever I'm putting into the choir by the grace of God to the glory of God. And some people will say, Asha wan church things are not moving the way they should move. And shaking lossy church me. It is because of some of these things that we are not paying attention to. And my prayer is that be ashamed sin alone and sin alone lásán.
Amen.
All the rewards and blessings associated with the service of God. That deprive our amache night rehearsal, amache all these things, they do come with blessings. And I pray that none of these blessings will elude us. So I'm going to end here, and I'm wishing us a wonderful time. And if there are questions, moderator, over to you. Thank you for having me.
Yes, it was awesome, Brother Mikey. God bless you, really good. Yes, we are going to take some few contributions and questions as fast as possible. Okay, let me accept this request from Brother Shegmet.
Rasheg, you're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you. Oh, my video is the other way around. Oh, okay. Thank you so much. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening, sir. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
for joining.
Thank you for having me on board.
Yes, sir.
Getting your glasses to me. Compete. Yeah, Mike, you have brother Mike. Don't let me just say don't let me just say Mike. Fortunately, on a lighter mood, this brother happens to be somebody that I love so much.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, till tomorrow. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Okay, till tomorrow, right? Till this very moment, he happens to be the best tenor singer that worked with me. Let me use it that way, because we have same background, and he has said a lot, and I pray for more wisdom of God in his life. I'm so much proud of him. I would like you to bring him on board. I'm so proud of him.
Yes.
I'm so much proud of him. So, for real, he has said a lot of things. Are you bringing him on board?
Yes, you can continue, but I'm not seeing him. Okay, I've seen him. Yes, I'm inviting him. Yeah? Yes, I'm inviting him. So you should join us soon. Okay, yes. Let's go.
Okay. So let's just okay, so thank you, Mike. Thank you, bro Mike, for coming on board. So I said something behind you, and I want to repeat it again, that till this morning, you happen to be the best tenor singer that worked with me, that we worked together. And you know what that means. You know what that means. And I'm really very proud of you. I'm really very proud of you. From your journey to Abuja, Emmanuel Cathedral, Abuja, now Ibadan, our parish in Ibadan. I'm very proud of you. I'm very proud of you. However, I have, looking at the topic of discussion for today, the best discipline that we can give. Number one, for us not to waste too much time on writing, booklet, discipline. Number one thing that we should instill as a choir master is the fear of God in our people. He made mention of that fact. I have other things, but look, once we have the fear of God instilled in our people, you know, ọ̀nà tán ti clear àti bulldozer ti clear nsìn tó bá kún igbó, little effort lẹ máa ṣe than ọ̀nà tó jẹ́ pé the big forest that you have to begin to bulldoze, till and all those things. So the Spirit of God is key, and that is the vital thing that is missing in the life of our people. And once the Spirit of God is not there, anything, spirit of mammon, spirit of money, spirit of fornication, spirit of adultery, spirit of fighting, like he has rightly said, tọ́mọ akọrin mi bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ ìjà báyìí, ẹ máa rò pé NURTW lẹ́wà ni. You understand? So if we have the Spirit of God, then for the choir leader, anybody that want to choose as our choir leader must lead by example. You know why? All eyes, the celestial logo says, as the leader, everybody is watching you. There are some things you will do unknowingly. You think people don't observe it. They observe everything. You know, there are some category in the choir. You see those people, they are good observants. They will be watching you. As a choir master, you will be shocked. And the worst thing that can happen is when you have a factionalized settings, a divided choir. This word says a house that is divided against itself cannot stand. Look, the major problem of divided choir is not even on the choristers, but the working of the Holy Spirit in the church is being debarred. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. The major problem of a divided choir, when choir are not disciplined, the major implication is not even on them, but the implication is the service of the day, the entire service, the church acceptance of our sacredness will not be accepted. And you know the implication of that. If somebody, God forbid, not you, serve as a hindrance to the workings of the Holy Spirit, my brothers and my sisters, no wonder we have a lot of people to the these are the funny. And you will see somebody will just come today. We don't have to mention names here. That is number one. Number two aspect, we talked about musical indiscipline. I have some things that just to buttress what he has said. Some factors that are responsible or that causes musical indiscipline. Number one, Otiso, he has said a lot of things, but there are some things I want to add. One, engineer, major problem, Tani. Look, if you understand the setting of the console very well, there are standard, there are parameters. You understand? Settings the buffalo for hymnals in same song is different from the settings you use. Lagbo. A juju kind of music has its settings on the console. A Fuji kind of settings will support the akpala, the yailu, the gong percussion very well. But this church music, the sacredness of the church music does not allow those. But our engineers, what they do is the same settings, they don't lock it, so they bring it into the church. For crying out loud, all in the name of we want to do it. So engineering, the settings, who are a major problem, Tani. Musical indiscipline, normal orin tanko. Tí church mi bá bẹ̀rẹ̀ intro orin báyìí. Kó tó parí intro yẹn dó tọ́tí sọ́lá sí tọ́tí ẹ ti gbàgbé nǹkan tẹ́ ń ṣe. You understand? All these things we want to show, I understand it, but the combination of those notes tá à ń kó papọ̀ ń gbà mí gan ó ti takora débi pé ó ti fún wa ní problem. Have you ever listened to Nathaniel Daniels? Hallelujah, amen. As simple as that song is, I can listen to that song 1 million times in a day. No complexity, no too much ajasa, no too much pe mo fẹ́ solo kí string kìíní já kó wọ̀ kẹrin before they will hear me. So our playing styles, our intro, tábà di ṣe ń gbà mí gan tí rí intro tó máa play débi pé ẹ̀ ní rántí ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ orin yẹn mọ́ nígbà tó bá tún play intro kan láàrin. You understand? It sounds funny, but these are the major problems. Tábà ti gbé highlight yẹn lọ títí àtúnṣe intro mi tá wo àpàlà tó ṣe mẹ́wàá ìwọ́rọ̀ lórin tá a fẹ́ kọ. We are causing confusion. So that is one aspect. Talking drummer, percussionists, they create a lot of nuisance to our church music. Those are the aspects that I want us to look into that. And this is my recommendation for all choir leaders. Do what I call performance evaluation. Mike Oronti, at the end of every service, call your people together, analyze the day's service. The next Saturday or next practice. Talk to yourselves. While you are doing your performance evaluation as a choir, you can do that internally and externally. While I was the choir master somewhere in the East, I have some group of people that are external. I use them in the church. They are reasonable people. To them, I want not to ṣakọrin rí. A máa ń fi ìpè àwa tá à ń ṣakọrin ń sìn. Àwa la mọ ogun ẹ̀tàn. Meanwhile, there are some of those elders to them, wọ́n ti ṣe, wọ́n understand the nitty-gritty of those things we're doing. When you see people like that, as the choir leader, there's nothing stopping you from going to them, seek their opinion, bèrè lọ́wọ́ wọn. Reasonable people, kì í ṣe everybody ló understand music o. Ẹlòmíì wà tẹ́ bá kọ orin yẹn kó dùn láti bí lọ Jerusalem, wọ́n appreciate it. I said identify those people that have likes mind, don't understand. Talk to them, ask them. These people have a lot of information about you because most of the ẹ̀kan yà á ó ti pọ̀ jù náà. Ordinary You do it internally and externally, and I guess that is what I have for today. I really want to appreciate you for your time, and bro Mike, God bless you. God bless you. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Moderator. Thank you so much, sir. Let me
Thank you,
allow
sir.
that to come on board. Yeah.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. All right. That was an awesome contribution from Brother Shegment. I'm bringing in Evangelist Kulinana on board too, so we can take his contributions. At least maybe that will be the last contribution for tonight, or if possible, maybe the last. Good evening, sir. Are those cakes? Yeah, are those on the cakes or not? Thanks. But everybody, God bless you, sir. Good evening, sir.
Hello.
We can hear you clearly, sir. Good evening.
Hello, sir.
Ayọ̀ báwo ni?
Fine, sir.
Ṣẹ́ṣẹ́ gún ṣì wà ń bẹ̀.
No, he has left. We have only Brother
Ìṣẹ́gun.
Mike here.
Mike, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, sir.
Hope you are good. Ṣẹ́gun that I just spoken is my junior brother. He was very, very, very close to me. And since he has recommended and praised you, so I have no choice than to also praise you as well. Are you hearing me?
Thank you, sir.
So just tell him that Kunle Nana praised you as well.
Yes.
Okay, Ṣẹ́gun is that. I'll just tell him that since you have, so I have no choice than to praise him as well. But
Yes, sir.
But Ṣẹ́gun, let's look at one or two things.
Okay, sir.
Let's look at two things. Now, who the parish we are talking about, who is the shepherd of that parish? Two, what type of parish are we talking about?
Okay.
Are you hearing me? This network is on.
The network is bad at the side.
Okay, now, yeah. Shall I get me by saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
yeah.
yeah.
Yes, you can hear you.
Money, who is the shepherd? Who is the shepherd of that parish? What type of parish are we talking about?
Okay.
Number one, when it's a landlord shepherd, it is very, very difficult for the choirmaster.
Wow, your network is so bad. Wow.
Ayọ̀ ṣe gbọ́ mi.
Network.
Network here, on bad. Actually, read that. Clear enough.
Mo ti ń gbọ́ yín báyìí. Mo ní now tó bá wù choirmaster láti operate at his best and it's not pleasing to the shepherd in charge. What can the choirmaster do? If the CM wants to discipline somebody and the shepherd is dating that person, or the person we want to discipline is the son or the daughter of the shepherd in charge, and the church itself is a landlord shepherd, what discipline do you want to maintain in that type of parish? That is number one. Number two, what type of parish are we talking about? If the church is a community church, And some set of people are the foundation members.
The network is really poor.
Yes, really bad. Okay.
If you discipline a boy in Ogudu, his father can come out and say, Nibo, ọmọ tí mo bí síbí, ọmọ tó dàgbà síbí, màá nà ẹ́ lóògùn, màá lé ẹ jáde, tó bá fọwọ́ kọ́mọ yẹn, níbo ṣe bó wá bá ń bí ni. Now, how do you want the choirmaster to do in that place? And you take the matter to the parochial committee, and the parochial committee are in support of the father because he's a foundation member of the church. Like Ṣẹ́gun said, Ṣẹ́gun ní àwọn kan wà tọkàn máa gbọ́wọ́ síbẹ̀ báyìí wọ́n máa wù ẹ́ ṣó bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé wọ́n ò rí ẹ ọjọ́ tó bá máa yọ sí ẹ báyìí apá ẹ̀ máa jábọ́ ni. If you don't discipline that child because he's the son of the shepherd, he's the son of the chairman parochial committee or the son of the elders of the church, how can you discipline others when their parents are not in the choir? That's number 2. Number 3 is that who is that choirmaster himself? Is he a disciplined person? When you are not disciplined from your home and your own personal life, you are not a disciplined person. How can you discipline others? There is no way. So the 3 must be put into consideration before you can have a balanced choir. But take for instance, Baba Wole Adetiran, his parish is in Ibadan here. Tó bá dé ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì Baba Wole Adetiran, gbogbo nǹkan tó kù ńbẹ̀ ò ní kò wá òkè tán. But the choir aspect, gbàgbé òṣì, tó bá dán rọ́bìṣì wò, tó bá dán nọ́sẹ̀sì wò bí ayé ẹ̀ máa bàjọ́ máa lé ẹ jáde. Why? Because Baba Wole himself is a musicologist. So anything that pertains to music, he doesn't joke with it. Ẹni tó ti fọ́ àgbọn tó ti tọ́ kándù tí kándù gan ni tó ń sá tí kándù rí pé olùṣọ́lóbọ̀ tí kándù yẹn dẹ̀ ń sá lọ pé ẹ má tàn mí. Jẹ́ pé all his life àgbọn àti kándù ìkòkò ló ń fọ́ and is the shepherd of the church. How do you see that person maintaining standard in the church? No choir can stand very well in the church unless it's from the top, that the top of the church has discipline. If the church parochial committee does not recognize the choir, it will be difficult. It will be difficult to have a balance. In fact, our parish is an example. Nǹkan tí Ṣẹ́gun sọ lẹ́ẹ̀kan pé music console òótọ́ ni is very, very correct. Come to my parish, come and tell them that slave console can come and kill on. They don't care. All they care for is hello 1 2. At any condense not be hello 1 T 1 T 1 T 1 T Komoyato. He doesn't know the difference. 1 T 1 T hello 2 2 1 T at the better. So Radio Nikini now, how many sound engineers do we have in Celestial Church of Christ? How many sound engineers can you get? Can the parish pay for a good sound engineer? Where do they want to get it? Who will pay? Celestial is not Pentecostal church. Believe me sincerely. You see, Celestial setting, but like what's that guy's name? Udayo, what's his name? Michael.
Yeah.
Like Michael.
Yes, I'm on. I can hear you.
Says the other time. Though it depends on the choirmaster, but Sir Michael, thank God that you are in a better parish. You can only maintain a choir to a certain level in Celestial Church of Christ. That is my own perception. It depends. Okay, let's take Ṣẹ́gun now. Ṣẹ́gun Medioye now. ìwọ lọ sọ pé Ṣẹ́gun olùṣọ́ jẹ́ kí Ṣẹ́gun dá ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì sílẹ̀ sí kó jẹ́ olùṣọ́ ṣé ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì Ṣẹ́gun yẹn ṣé sẹ́ẹ̀tì instrument ló fẹ́ ya wèrè ni àbáwọn ọmọ akọrin ló fẹ́ ya wèrè. You go to Pentecostal church wà ní music náà lẹ̀ kó tó lè di pastor now. Ibi tó máa ti rí àwọn pastor tí ò mọ̀ pa music ní CAC Kérúbù Sẹ̀lẹ̀ àwọn ibi tó máa ti rí nìyẹn náà.
ẹ jẹ́ ká response yẹn ti bèrè question àwa náà fẹ́ response question tẹ́ bèrè yẹn.
mo ti dákẹ́ Ṣẹ́gun mo ti dákẹ́.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you. Ní dákẹ́ lórúkọ Jésù. It's wonderful seeing you again after a very long time. It's my big brother too. Number one, Mr. Moderator, please, before I forget my school of thought, right?
Okay, sir.
We have some good engineers on the platform as we speak now. Please look for a topic for the engineer, sound engineer and stuff. I can see my brother Ogunade, Taiwo Ogunade. Yes. Look. Like my dearest brother has said, we have a lot of good talent in the church, but they are leaving because of these things we are talking about. We have a lot of good sound engineer. To buttress what my brother has said, when we don't have the enabling environment, difficult. But he asks, question 1, question 2, question 3. Fortunately, Bobo question is so I want to use myself as an example. I don't want to mention any parish now. I don't like mentioning parish online. But sometimes in the East, I was the choirmaster in a particular parish. When I came there, I was just in the church, worshiping like a normal brother. When I left the southern part to that place, I said, no, I just want to go there and worship as a worshiper. You know why? Church politics, choir stress, politics everywhere. I was fed up with it. So I said I was coming to worship as a worshiper. But something now happened along the line. I don't know how the church management got to know about my person, about me. They said, they called me that I will be their choir master. I said, choirmaster, I'm here as ordinary brother. Even ordinary Amuregomi Olo throughout my stay there. To cut the whole story short, the first harvest that we want to do, there's a particular lady that did not for the choir practice. And she didn't come for choir practice and she wants to rope on harvest day. And I told her, please, with due respect, just leave now because you know why? I don't have any issue against her. But I have issue with the fact that she did not come for any of the practices, and in their usual way there, they will just come in on the choir, on the harvest day or anything you are doing. I said, no, this is not going to work. One, I did not beg to apply as a choir master there. I can drop your choir mastership for you right and there. So, before I go to a parish, I will do my background study at my age now. Before I go to attend any parish, I will do a background check of that parish to address what he has just said. If they don't allow you to practice as a choir master to do all your standard, to me, I don't know of any other person, because
resign from Isha.
That is a very serious mistake. I'm not resigning from Michelle Lua. I'm not resigning from Michelle Lua. But the same thing, can't I use that to counter that? I'm going to another parish where I have the enabling environment to practice to worship God. Right? So based on that, if the environment is not conducive, so coming to my story of what I said, I told the lady to go out. Somehow, the lady is one of the favorites of some power that bees in the altar. And when they went to call them, I was outside with her. I told her, no, you cannot pollute that idea that that wants to bring progress to the choir and pollute that service. In the first place, still by indiscipline. Oh, choir practice, one time to feko. Kilo fe wa shembe. Lojo ikore. You understand? So when they call the parochial chairman to come there, the parochial chairman says, I should let her rope. I should let her go. I now said, I don't have any issue. The shepherd came. Mr. Shepherd, Mr. Parochial Chairman, you said she should rope. Tomorrow, another junior person will repeat the same thing. How will you cope that? The chairman of the parochial committee, oh, Doriko Dubai, I said, I don't have any issue against that personality, but the fact that we are flaunting the rules and regulation is what I have issues against. And they quietly told that lady that she should leave. That was how I was able to instill that discipline during my own time. But like I said, tó bá ti lè wípé mo ṣe òfin, like my brother Kunle Nana Selekan, tí chairman wa confront mi pé bí iná bí ìjọ yẹn sí ibo náà ti rán èmi wá. Kó tó di pé I go spiritual with ourselves, I swear I will leave. I'm not leaving God's work, oh my brother. I will go to an enabling environment where I can operate. I think he's laughing. You leave, you have the right to live and worship God in an enabling environment. Thank you, sir.
Hey, hello, Mr. Medway.
Yes, we are with you.
Hi.
So Mike is going to join us soon. Let's continue.
I pray he joins us soon.
Okay.
This is Baba Adetiran's week. So Abi, this week he will be going home officially. He will be going home. He's already home anyways.
His body will be going home officially. He's home already.
He will be going home officially. He's home already, I know.
Yeah.
This is what I want to say concerning this matter on ground. Michael nailed it. He killed it. If the topic happened to be a giant, I would say Michael killed it seriously.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. That was very, very loaded. But this is what I will say. My shepherd, one of my shepherd, where I served as a music director, he used to say something on the pulpit. He would say, "You are an ambassador of your family, well, wherever you come from. So whatever you do in a gathering, you are trying to tell us that this is how you behave where you come from. If you come from, if you find yourself in a gathering and all you do there is fight. Come back, so how? I mean, she
So Mike, I'll call you back.
Come back, so she sọ̀rọ̀ Come ẹ má ta sí mi o, respect yourself o. A jẹ́ pé bọ́n ṣe ń ṣe nílé tó ti wá gan-an nìyẹn. And those are not the kind of people we want in the choir. So the moment, the moment you remember that you are an ambassador of where you come, of your family, you don't want to put your family's name, drag your family's name into the mud. You don't want to disgrace your family because of my solo. Of course, they are going to face the whole choir, but at the same time, who fought? Oluwabumi fought. Which Bumi? There might be 3 Bumis in the choir. Alákìgbé
àfin bó ṣe máa ń jà nìyẹn.
Bó ṣe máa ń jà nìyẹn. Alágídí ẹ lè bá sọ kó gbọ́. Mọ̀mọ́mọ́ fira mi ṣe example ni I don't fight anyway. God forbid yẹn. Let us nail it. So a time is coming, and I think that time is very, very close now, where you will do something, before everybody cast their eyes on you, your spirit will just come out of your body and slap you and say, "Ṣé nǹkan máa ṣe é? Sorry, ṣé bó ṣe ń wà ló wà yìí?" I pray for that time. It sounds funny, but it is true. It is true. Something happened to me in a church, in the church where I served as a music director. I was the music director of the choir, and the CM happens to be my friend. But when it comes to music, he's a good drummer, but when it comes to music, he doesn't know me. He doesn't know anybody. He does his work. There was a time he gave a lady white handkerchief After all, he told the ladies, no heavy makeup in the choir. So this lady got to church one day, and then they saw the makeup on his face. Disciplinary committee went to meet her. She said, lie. But this guy went to meet him and said, Auntie, Egba, Ebawa mi ojú yín. Ìsáyà kẹnu ojú yìí, tàbí kẹ́ ẹ jáde. Ó kọ́kọ́ wò lọ, wò bọ̀. She now collected the white handkerchief. And guess what happened to the white handkerchief? White turned to brown. And that was that. But now coming to what happened to me personally. Okay, I will cite 2 examples. One, when I was the CM of one of the churches where I started as a foundation member, I was called back there to revive the choir. And a lady, just because she happens to be the wife of the church prophet, church world leader, we made the law. You do not come to rehearsal, you cannot join the choir. I believe you are all hearing me. I believe you can all hear me.
Yes.
So you do not come for the rehearsal, you will not join you won't join on Sunday, you won't robe on Sunday. Now, because she did not come, and on that Sunday she now took the choir cake. I told her, yeah, Ebo cake. She said no. Ebo, he said no. And I told everybody, I said, well, the church could go on, but I will not join you. I don't know if what I did was right or wrong. I leave you all to judge that. But I said, instead of me to stay in this choir to join you, I would rather stay in the church since you are now the CM. I did not join that service. I hear you. Let me have it. Give it to me, Mr. Floyd. You're not going to do that to yourself. So I'm sorry, he's at it again. So I did not join the choir stand. I didn't join the choir on that Sunday. And after the service, they now called parochial committee meeting. They now brought me in the center. Bumi, sir, you engineer in the house.
You're welcome, sir.
I greet you. Don't worry, they are tackling you. You will save yourself. So they now said, Bumi, and I told them, I said, excuse me, sir, ma, you brought me back here to revive the choir. We are trying to instill discipline in this choir, and because you are the wife of the church leader, you think you are above the law. And I used myself as an example. I cannot stay in a place where there is no order, where the people will be unruly. But instead of them to face the lady, they all started attacking me. What I did was wrong. I shouldn't have left. I should have called this. I should have called that. Mudake. She now started talking because she saw that people were on her side. She now started talking. Something wrong with you? Are you all right at all? That was when she fell quiet because Allah
The sound. Okay.
It's not. I think the sound is from.
Yes, from what I like. Okay. Let's try to do this. Okay, let's go.
So I mean, that way. The next time she didn't try that with me again. That was why I said I don't know if what I did was right or wrong, but in my own way, I just made them know. At least they know that this person did not join his choir because somebody was trying to be above the law. Now, back to the church where I served as music director. During Woli, Prophet and Prophetess Week, I did not get to church very early on that Sunday. I don't know what happened. But the moment I stepped into the choir stand, and I was living in Ikotu, my church was in Ajegule toll gate. So I got there late, kind of, due to financial whatever. When I got there, my supposed choir master friend did not ask me any question. He just told somebody to walk me out of the choir. When the person was talking, I didn't even know, because I didn't know anything. But he now told the person, sọ fún àfikówó mi. Ìyẹn náà ní brad mi, CM ní kẹ, CM ń bá yín sọ̀rọ̀. So the moment I see him just like this, and I just picked my Bible and my hymn book, and I moved into brother's corner. Jókòó sáàrin ìjọ. Guess what happened? People started asking, àfin kí ló dé? Àfin kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Now, I never made myself indispensable. I am just a music director. And now, people started asking questions. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Kí ni kankan? Àfin jókòó sáàrin ìjọ mo ní CM ló ní kí n jókòó. Kí ló ṣẹlẹ̀? Mo wà fún Riaza, mo dẹ̀ pẹ́ kí n tó dé. Inside of me, I was mad though. But I had to respect my CM because I am just a music director. Even though I knew that what happened there was like kind of some funny game, but I played along. I kept quiet. You know that when I said that it was getting kind of embarrassing, even our mother Celeste, they started looking at me. Níbi tí mo jókòó sí, àfin ara, láàrin ìjọ. It's impossible. And when I saw that it was getting kind of embarrassing, I had to pick my Bible and I left. I went to a parish and then came back again, and that was it. That kind, I could do that, but not everybody can take it. And that's why I said you are an ambassador of your family. Whatever you do in a particular gathering, you are trying to tell us that is how you behave in your home. Kojubelo. May God help us. And on the case
Amen.
In the matter of engineer, I want to believe that there should be a standard. Baba Adetinro of blessed memory now, he used to say something whenever he comes for a program. He will face the engineer and he will say, engineer, set for the choir. Don't set for the band. Engineer answer, so that was when I got to know that there is a particular setting that the choir would have that will give the hymns and the church music a kind of different atmosphere. Of course, and then we will feel it. Everybody will feel it. But to the glory of God, we are in an era where you can decide to go digital with your mixer. So since we have digital mixers, call everybody. Let them have a particular settings for when it is time for hymns. This is the kind of settings that we'll be having. Lock it, keep it somewhere. And when it is time for bass bowls, do your sing song things, have that settings different. Yeah, don't worry, be happy. So you have your settings differently too. You're not going to be giving me Fuji settings when we are singing we should understand that. And as for hello 1 2 sound check, hello Zell 1 2, may God help.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you so much, bro.
Over to you.
Thank you for having me again. Well, like Afiara and Shegband have said, you see, let me quickly just address this issue of engineer or no engineer. I think it's a topic for another day.
Yes, of course.
But one thing is this. Whether you have a technically inclined engineer or you don't have in your choir, right? That does not stop what's going to happen in the church. With or without an engineer, the choir itself if they are disciplined at what they are doing, right? Even the engineer, no matter how crazy they are, right, they will deliver. Engineers, they are not magicians. There's a level of understanding. As an engineer, there should be a level of understanding music. You know, like everybody, what they are saying is right. Like if you go and bring somebody who have devoted all their life to be doing maybe Fuji music or all this secular music, and you bring them into the church, it might be very difficult for them to understand the technique,
Kind of
you know.
music.
Yeah, you know, you might not be able to understand how to level and balance all that. So that's a topic for another day anyway. So, like my own take about that, with or without a good engineer, the choir itself, like the topic you're talking about, discipline. You see, I've listened. I joined a little bit late because I'm still at work. So, but one thing is this: from my little experience, you see, I feel I said something. Whatever you do outside is a replica of where you're coming from. You understand?
Yes, sir.
And for me, if you want to be a choir leader or a choir master in the celestial fold, you need to have a bit of, I don't want to use, you need to have a bit of madness and coolness in your head. If you are too cool, you're going to have a problem. And if you are too mad, you're going to have a problem. So there has to be a balance between your mad. I'm not saying the person is mad, but you have to have a bit of madness and a bit of coolness in you. You understand? Regardless of there was a brother there that was saying, if the shepherd is landlord shepherd, if the parochial committee is this, and blah blah blah. Look, let's be honest with ourselves. See, I've happened to be in, like I always say in this program, I've never been a choir master in my life. You understand? I have never, and I don't aspire to be one. But one thing is this: I've been a music director in very well-established chorister beyond celestial fold. Even in the celestial church, I only refer back to C.C.C. Barak, Mokola Ibadan. Right? You see, there's something in that church which I always see and I take as a template for most places I go to. The choir should be independent of church politics. The choir should be independent of church politics. All the choir need the church to do is, if peradventure the choir is not able to raise the money, then they will talk to the church hierarchy. But when the choir start to be bringing the church hierarchy into their affairs, that is where you see all this mass indiscipline. But if the choir itself see themselves as a stand, you see, in Celestial Church of Christ, there's decorum. That is why Papa Shola himself, of blessed memory, gave that instruction that the choir stand should be a bit level with the altar, because they see the choir store as an altar. You understand? It is no mistake. It's not a mistake. So when if I am a choir master of a church and I can bring myself down to the parochial committee chairman or whoever chairman it is, because the person is rich, because the person is the one controlling the finance, you see, you are bringing yourself down. You understand? That is where you will never have a control over the choir. You understand? But if you have, no matter how powerful the parochial committee chairman is, no matter how powerful the church, the Olusoagutan is, you understand? As far as I can remember, in C.C.C. Mokola Parish, when I was there was no time Babade Kombi was ever involved in what we do. There was no time. The only time I can remember that Baba got involved in what we were doing was when we went to Imeko and Kasala started. That was when Celesta was 50 years, when there was trouble and Mokola choir, the Baba Bada disbanded Bokola Choir, blah, 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 all those others are history. Even Pastor Bada himself came to Ibadan. When Baba Bada came to Ibadan, Mokola Choir was under suspension, and Baba Bada was listening to one of the songs in the church, in the premises. It was in the premises, and somebody is playing a song loudly, and Baba Bada asked, "Àwọn ọmọ wo ló ń kọrin yìí?" And they told him that it's that same choir, sir, that you disbanded. Do you know what happened? That very afternoon, we got a call that Pastor Bada is in Mokola. All of us should come down to church. Whatever you are doing, leave it and come down to the church. And when we came, he said, ẹ̀yin ọmọ yìí, ẹ̀mí Ọlọ́run lò yín láti ṣe nǹkan tó dá báyìí. Kí ló wá fà á tẹ̀ ń jà? You understand? And, we explained something. Daddy, this is what happened, this is what happened. But all that is story now. But what I want to say is, you see, when you're talking about discipline in the choir, it comes from the top. It has to come from the top. You see, myself, some of us that were there, Samson, all of us, we are best of friends. You see, outside the choir is different. But when we are in the choir, we know that people are looking at us. You understand? So the discipline has to come. Everybody today will talk about Baba Det, is a disciplinarian, is this, is that. That did not happen by accident. You understand? There's a difference between you being a musicologist, you are trained as a musicologist. You could be trained as a musicologist and you may not be disciplined. You understand? There are a lot of people who are trained as musicologists and they're not disciplined. So discipline comes from the top. If the person at the top is not disciplined, it definitely needs to have some level of musicianship in them. They have to understand music and they have to have discipline to it. You see, when the choir could see that Oga at the top is disciplined, you understand? You see, every other person coming to that choir, they will not misbehave. I'm telling you, they will never misbehave. But if the person at the top is not disciplined, and the people at the top are not saying the choir to be an independent body in the church, and they've rendered themselves slaves to the hierarchy of the church, that's where there will be problem. You understand? But if the choir can be independent, you understand? The church has no business. All you do as a choir is service day at the moon 7 orin. Back then, but I know they don't do that anymore, So when you are well structured and organized, what effrontery would any chairman have to come and say, nǹkan ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn ò dá? Chairman tó máa sọ yẹn gan-an, kò ní effrontery yẹn láti wá bá yín.
That's why, because they are organized and there's order.
Exactly. So if you ask somebody, like Afiara just said that, look at him, ask him to sit down. He is doing that because he lay an example so that peradventure he happened to be in that position and ask somebody else to go out. They will not come and say, but when you are asked to do that, you never did it. You understand? It is true, not everybody. Everybody want to rope, everybody want to blah, blah, blah. You understand? But if there's a structure in place, it's not going to happen. You understand? So my own take about this whole of discipline is it comes from the head. Comes from the head, and the choir itself, especially with our celestial food, should start seeing themselves as an independent body. So if the choir is independent of the church politics, you understand? There won't be any infiltration of all these all this kind of a thing. No, it won't happen. But when they see that, there's no structure, there's no discipline, people just do whatever they want, then you subject yourself to the church nonsense.
Yes.
You understand? That's just my summation. But that issue of engineer, we'll talk about it later.
Yes. Yeah. Please prepare for us soon. I'm going to be inviting you. That now the set out times are.
Don't worry, then I'm in there.
Okay. But I like. Thank you for joining. God bless you, brother.
Brian, God bless you, sir.
Amen. Amen. Amen.
Thumbs up for you. I like what you're doing in the C.C.C.
Thank you
May
so
God
much.
give you more strength to push more
Amen.
and then win souls. First
Amen.
of all, I like the topic. It's really it caught my attention. I've been a chorister all my life. In fact, I was born into the C.C.C. and I started from the choir. We crawled into choir. I don't know if you are like me. So they can't be talking about choristers and I will not say something. I have a tight schedule to speak to someone now, but something I want us to look at very carefully. Whoever is listening to me now, I've been chorister leader in several capacity, from Unilag now to Christ Castle Parish to Shaddai View as music director for like 6 years. Now, back to my own parish in Dolphin Estate, music director for almost 12 years. Look, one experience I've been able to gather from Unilag especially is that many choristers are not born again. But if you have not given your life to Christ, you cannot understand the ministry you belong to. Look, Celestial C.C.C. Choir has a constitution. If you have time, go through that constitution. It has every laid down disciplinary measures or action that any serious choirmaster may use or want to use or can use. Very, very good, well written out. If you follow them well, you will run your choir well. There will be good discipline in whatever choir you are leading. But there is one basic foundational truth that the C.C.C. average chorister have missed. They just think that they miss the fact that choir or as a chorister you are in a ministry. Some people just think that is a band. They operate choirs like band. Band are different from choirs. Choir is a ministry and it's spiritual. You must handle it spiritually. Look at your topic. It says the best disciplinary action. Take the discipline alone. What's the meaning? Foundational meaning of discipline? Discipling. Discipling. How many choristers see themselves as a disciple of Jesus that holds a ministry and must fulfill calling? How many people wants to fulfill calling in choir? A lot of us were there. We had boyfriends and girlfriends. They do a lot of all sort of rubbish that is not supposed to be done in choirs. All sort of things goes on in choirs. You can, if you correct some people, they will tell you that you are insulting them. Do you understand what I'm saying? Some people will look at age, so many issues, but they all boil down to one thing: discipleship. Discipleship is spiritual. It's not how disciplined you are. You might be so disciplined naturally, and all of the people surrounding you do not understand Jesus and they have not given their life to Christ. If you like, preach every day from now to tomorrow. If they don't accept Jesus, they will not deliver good performance for you in the choir. This is one basic truth. Until celestial choristers begin to see themselves as born-again Christians, then whoever leads the choir will give them instruction and it will make more sense to them. Discipleship must be noted and must be taken with seriousness in choirs. Look, for example, one time I was recording an artist when I was still a music producer and sound engineer. The man sings like Barbara. He came to studio, he wanted to sing, he had good songs, we had done a lot of work. When he wanted to sing, you guess what he did? He was a senior evangelist in church. Okokoja lota, olomo gogoro, omu big bottle of Chelsea. When he came back, I said to him, Egbon, spirit ilelomu. Anytime copying in Barbara, spirit ilomu non lo. Ṣùgbọ́n spirit ten lo nsin ó yàtọ̀. Òun lo ẹ̀mí mímọ́, Holy Spirit. Ẹ̀yin lọ lo bottle spirit. Do you know he didn't deliver anything in the studio? Gbogbo session ẹ̀ ló waste. Ó padà wá studio wá tún ṣe yẹn record. See, until you begin, see, so many youths are in the church today, they are still using bottle spirit to sing praises in church. They are still using bottle spirit to get high. Some even smoke. And before they say, Kumbawa high, me, le koni dada. If you're a born again Christian and you are close to God, as soon as you pick microphone, if you sing one song, Lokpe, church, people will be falling here and there. If it's not evident in your singing, check yourself out. If you don't give your life to Christ, don't disturb yourself. I know people, there is this choirmaster of Olowu Parish that I used to know. They used to call that man, he's a shepherd now. If he picks up microphone now and sing, church will turn upside down. Just like the Bible said in the book of Acts. That these are they that turn the world upside down. Healing take place. Blessings come. The Spirit of God will be able to move. If you don't give your life to Christ, don't deceive yourself. Give instructions, so tell them rules and regulation. Read it every day. If they don't have Jesus in their life, and they don't accept God as their Lord and Savior, and they're just wearing sutana, the choir stand will be ungovernable for everybody. Right? There's an harvest. My mom is here joining an harvest in a parish in Badagry here. We went there like 2 Sundays ago. They forced themselves. Choirmaster took money and was spraying money in the crowd. They had to dissolve all of them. If you have the Holy Spirit, is that part of your calling and ministry? It's also, there's one foundational thing, as you have said it, best disciplinary action can only come from discipleship. And that's my take. God bless us, sir.
Amen. Thank you, Brother Eli. God bless
Thank you too, sir.
Thank you so
much.
God
bless you too, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Think of yourself. Okay. Oh, that was awesome. Good one from let me invite Brother Michael Jolomi so that he can give us his Brother Mike, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, but I would prefer to be on audio, please. But
Okay,
I'm on my way for rehearsal.
All right, it's good, it's good. Yes, I would like you to give us your, your word of advice, for choristers out there, what you feel they should do that right at the back of their mind now and then.
Oh yeah, like the last call I just said, and like I said during my presentation, the fear of God is the beginning of all wisdom. Once we all have the fear of God, every other thing will be as simple as ABC. But without the fear of God, that is when we start chasing people with rules. If we have the fear of God, the laws are just there to guide us. Disciplinary actions will only come when we are not doing the right thing. Once we know that the moment we step into the choir loft, every other thing that then I will see no reason to fight with my fellow chorister. I will see no reason to want to molest the beautiful ladies out there. If I don't pick a wife, I pick it responsibly. Not serving breakfast for everyone around. You understand? So my candid advice to everyone is the rules should be there fine, but please, we all know the right thing to do. Let us do the right thing, all to the glory of God. Then one thing we should also avoid in the church choir is self-glorification. Once we remove self-glorification from a lot of things we do and see it as working towards righteousness and for God, believe you me, every other thing will be a smooth ride, both for the choir master, the executives, and for everyone in the choir. So that's just my candid advice, and I thank everyone. I thank the organizers for having me tonight. I'm so late for rehearsal. See, now you go pay my fine.
All right, you can you're so much appreciated. God bless you, really good. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Wonderful rehearsal. Yeah, but
thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Brother Michael. Take care of yourself.
All right, sir. All right.
All right. Well, to me, like
But
I would
Eli,
just say, like the last second to the last speaker, I didn't know his name. He said, Eli, fear of God, that they are not born again. Yes, this word is a mixed life. We have born again and born against. So
I'm born again.
we always we,
I'm born again
we,
to the
al-
choir.
we always continue to have both born again and the born against in the house, in the choir, because the born again, if in fact the born again Christian, they don't really, some, you see, it's the born against that are in charge of the musical instruments. Yes, now the born against are they are the engineers, they are the guitarists, they are the percussionists. Unfortunately, the born again are the 40% singers. So, but we will see how to manage the two of them. But my last word is attitude is everything in life. Attitude is everything in life. The way you respond to issues matters. In terms of discipline, if you are not disciplined, nobody can discipline you. The worst that can happen is to expel you from the choir. That is the last discipline you can get. ẹni tí ò gbọ́n sí bàbá àti ìyá ẹ̀ lẹ́nu tó ẹ gbọ́n bú bàbá ẹ̀ lé ó bú ìyá ẹ̀ lé kí ni Choirmaster kan fẹ́ bá sọ alẹ́ kó ṣì yín sọ́njà ní Choirmaster ìgbà kéèpù lọ́rùn wọ́n tó bá tẹ̀ ti sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ fẹ́ Choirmaster ẹ̀ lé mi jáde kí ló tún kù tó fẹ́ sọ fún tí ó bá sọ pé kó máa wá sẹ̀lẹ̀ mọ́ ni. So that's the, but let us have the fear of God and let us have a good attitude, good thinking, let us be respective and above all the fear of God in our life. So I will then for the sound something, please find a date for the sound matter. So by the time they want to do it, I want to invite 2 or 3 people to come and stay in my house or be in the church so they can listen to it. So that all of this 1, 2, 3,
Thank you so much, sir.
they will understand
Good
it better.
Yes, sir.
We go see now.
All right, sir. Thank you so much, sir. God bless you, sir. Yes, we appreciate everyone for today's session too. God bless you all. Brother Michael, Jolomi, thanks for joining. Thanks for those. You broke down the topic discipline, and it was awesome. You know, the subtopics and so on. It was very awesome. It was a great session we had with you. God bless you, real good. And also the other contributors. Thank you so much. Everyone that has watched, that has joined the live session, thank you so much. You can share after this live session. The video will be posted on our pages. So you can, from there, you can watch it again. You can share, you know, you can save anything, you can make a choice out of it. We just know that we are loaded with information, just as we normally do. Once again, let's not forget this. And as we said, next week is, in fact, this week in some countries, they have started doing some programs for our late Baba Wole Adetron. However, in Nigeria, from Monday, it's a whole week of program to honor Baba, to the burial arrangement. So that means on Sunday we are proposing a program. This Sunday, so there'll be a live session where everybody, you are allowed to come and speak. You are a member of Central Choir, either yes or no. You are someone that has known Baba from afar or close to Baba. We are going to give chance to everyone to speak about this topic. My experience with Baba Wole Adetron while growing in music. Once again, my experience with Baba Wole Adetron while growing in music. So please call your friends. There'll be chance, there'll be minutes for people to, few minutes for people to come out and share the experience so that we can learn from them. And it is time, for us to really honor Baba Wole Adetron. Let us talk about what he has done in our lives, what he has impacted, how we grew, we improved our music through him. Yes, okay, it's from Sunday. They said the program for Baba is actually from Sunday, not Monday. But however, we are going to have the live session. So from 7 p.m. on Sunday, yes, so let's do 7 p.m. Yeah, good to go 7 p.m. on Sunday. We start the session. So join us from every part of the world, from Nigeria, anywhere, just as you usually do on Sunday evening. Let's talk about this. Let's talk about what Baba has done for us, our experiences far and wide and near, close to him. Let's come and you talk about it. Yes, God bless you, really good once again, and thank you so much for joining. We have spent 3 hours on dots. First, we apologize for starting late once again. So please follow us on our social media pages. C.C.C Choirmasters on Instagram, C.C.C Choirmasters on Facebook. Let's continue sharing these videos. They are very, very resourceful and very good. Thank you so much. Enjoy this last piece from Bayode Solomon, solo strings. Kabiyesi, yes.
Wetijọba ẹ màmá ti bí bàbá mi. Wà tó jọba torí àkànmọ́ mọ́ mi.
Omowole, thanks for joining. Simply Wuraola, thanks for the following. Yanu Shijade, thank you so much.
Ṣùgbọ́n ọba mẹ́fà yíyọ, èmẹ̀ kú o, èmẹ̀ tí orí.
Okay, awesome. Yes, till we meet again, same time next week. Thank you so much. God bless you.